jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o náà bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ fò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ṣí mi lọ́nà o mo tẹ́rí bá fàdà àgbà o àgbà ẹ̀ foríjì ni ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o tí o fojú ti rìn wọn láyé ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ torí oníkọ́ tó lè ọlá ní ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá pẹ́ràn nígbó tó bá fúnra ẹ̀pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ tàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò ẹ̀kọ́ gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má jalè. Forí wórí kìlọ̀ ló jẹ́ ẹni forí wórí yóò ṣàbàmọ́ àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé o. nílé ayé o. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé. dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ́. Ṣòkòtò wọn múra wọn sáré kẹrù sọkọ o àyànmọ́ ògbóògùn o wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí mórí lọ́mọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣòkòtò ohun rẹ lágbo Ṣòkòtò mo sọ àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o olórí làlá bàrò orí làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò mo lórí làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò orí mi gbé mi níjà o olórí làlá bàrò làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí má fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níyà o àmì nílé ayé wa bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn ṣọ́wa nínú ọ̀pá wọn kìnìún ejò olóró àkékè ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè o mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè mo máa sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa gbé wa níjà o. Mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè o. Kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mọ́sádì ọba bá lókè o. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro tiwa sí nínú ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
Bikin zama sha kallo.
Oluremi Tinubu Bazledi.
Sai Tinubu.
Bazledi yan kasa cikar sarki.
Sai Tinubu.
Jirgin ceton kasar mu yayi lodi.
Sai Tinubu.
Kashe shanda da ku tuki.
Mata,
Sarki ranar hawa ya hau doki.
mata.
Ashe morewar kuɗi a kai mu.
All right, that's enough of that. So, whatever it is that they just said, the Aboki Orchestra from Nasarawa. So, that was the Aboki Orchestra from Nasarawa. And this is the noisemaker from Oyalafe. And you are whoever you are, wherever it is that you are joining us. In the words of Nnamdi Kanu, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. So, I've always wondered why he's always said that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Good day would have sufficed. That's all he needed to say. Good day. When you say good day, you cover the entirety of the whole spectrum of the day, from morning, noon, and afternoon, and evening. You know what they call that in language? They call it tautology. When you use unnecessary words to be unnecessarily worthy and descriptive, they call it tautology in language. Just say good day. No need for good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever it is that you are. I think it's one of those affectations that we get from our brothers from the Southeast. But good day to you is what I am saying. Do you see this bottle right here? It belongs to my child. Can you see it? Oh, it's not showing. Can you see it? Oh, it's not showing. Well, anyway, good day to you. Good day to you. Good to be your company and all that. Good day to you. Good to be in your company, and how are you? Another late start. We were meant to do this session yesterday, but events superseded so that it is now today that we're having it. So, nevertheless, it still all matters. Tinubu and the Coup plotters. So that's the headline right there. Good day to you, though. Good afternoon. Good to be in your company. The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button, just as I'm inviting you to do so. Do so. If you are watching in Watchback, also click on like and subscribe as well. We need subscription numbers going up. So if you want to do us that favor, then subscribe to the platform. It's so important. It's all about the YouTube algorithm. We're looking for 500 new subscribers in the course of this month. So be one of them. Every subscriber takes us on the journey to wherever it is that we need to be. So if you have no objection to subscribing, then please do that. And if you're watching in Watchback, still do that. I know that people watch it on their screens, on the television. So I'm not quite sure. I've never really watched YouTube on television. I only ever watch it either on laptop or on a phone. So I've never watched it on television, but I suspect that it is that much more difficult to subscribe if you're watching it on television, because then you have to make an effort to do that. So if you need to make an effort, make that effort. Just that contribution to the platform, the subscription button is so important. If your subscription button is showing red, if the subscribe button on your whichever device, if your subscription button is showing red as you're watching us now, then you have not yet fulfilled all righteousness. So fulfill all righteousness by clicking on the word subscribe. And then tell me in the comment section that you have done exactly that. So click on like and click on subscribe. So we'll be discussing the coup plotters. The names have now come out. So we'll go through the list, and we have the suspicion that we're only ever really going to meet a list of our a list of northern names. And then there is this curious story that broke yesterday. Unfortunately, we didn't come up, but there's this curious story that broke yesterday. It is the narrative of a choir singer, Ifunanya Nwangene. Ifunanya Nwangene. That's her name. Ifunanya Nwangene. So that is her name. Actually, let me put her on the screen just so you can see her. So it's the narrative it's the narrative of this young lady right here. This story broke in just yesterday. I don't have the fullness of the details, but the upshot of it is that she was bitten by a snake and she lost her life. And a lot of the Nigerian space there all up in arms. They're all aghast and agog and whatever over that. So we'll be discussing that. I'm not quite sure. So they are weaponizing this narrative as ever to flog the sitting government. They said they did not have sufficient. Let's actually have a look. It says snake bite. Choir details. Choir details how Abuja singer Ifunanya Nwagene died. So let's also take a few paragraphs. The Ememuso choir has given a harrowing account of the final hours of its soprano singer Ifunanya Nwagene, who died on Saturday after being bitten by a snake in a residence in Lugbe, Abuja. Nwagene's death, which occurred at the Federal Medical... Oh, okay, I think this is where the outrage comes in. I don't think quite they had the medication necessary. The Emomuse choir has given a harrowing account of the final hours of a soprano singer, Efunanya Nwagene, who died on Saturday after being bitten by a snake in her residence in Lugbe, Abuja. Nwagene's death, which occurred at the Federal Medical Center, FMC, Jabi, has cast a harsh spotlight on the emergency response gaps and the availability of life-saving antivenoms in hospitals within the Federal Capital Territory. She was sleeping when the snake bit her. Confirming the tragedy in a statement issued on Sunday, the choir announced that the fast-rising singer died barely hours after the incident. We regret to announce the sudden demise of our beloved soprano Ifunanya Nwagene, who passed away yesterday, January the 31st, 2026, at the Federal Medical Center due to a snake bite. The statement signed by the choir's director of music said. The choir described her as a promising talent whose death came at a critical point in her musical journey. A rising star, Efunanya, was on the cusp of sharing her incredible talent with the world. Her voice, dedication, and gentle spirit will be deeply missed by the Emumoso family and everyone who knew her, the statement reads. Speaking further on how the incident unfolded, it was said that Nwagene was bitten by a snake whilst asleep in her room on Saturday morning. She was sleeping when the snake bit her. This happened around 8 to 9 a.m. She woke up, realized what had happened, and rushed herself to a private hospital around where she lived in Lugbe. He said the hospital identified as Divine Health Hospital, Trademore Lugbe, was unable to provide the critical drug needed to treat snakebite victims. The snake bit her, and she rushed herself to the hospital. But when she got there, they told her they did not have antivenom. That was the first major problem, Ezegwe explained. With her condition worsening, she returned home in an attempt to get help to reach a tertiary hospital. She rushed back home. Her landlord wanted to take her to FMC Jabi, but his car refused to start. At that point, time was already against her, he said. Left with no other option, Nwagene booked a ride-hailing service to the hospital. She booked a boat and went to FMC herself. When she arrived, she explained everything to the medical personnel on duty, that she had been bitten by a snake and that the first hospital did not have antivenom, he added. They said they had only one antivenom. According to Ezegwe, doctors at the FMC immediately began attending to her, but another critical challenge emerged. When we got the call, we rushed down to FMC and met the doctors trying their best. She was already struggling at this point. He disclosed that the hospital informed them that it had only one dose of antivenom, whereas her condition required more. The doctors told us that they had one antivenom, but they needed a second one urgently. We were running around making calls, trying to buy the second one, he recounted. Whilst efforts were ongoing to source the drug, Nwagene's condition deteriorated rapidly. In the period we were rushing to get the second antivenom, she gave up, he said. She was pronounced dead 12:20 p.m., barely 3 to 4 hours after the snake bite. After her death, the choir said steps were taken to confirm the type of snake involved. We contacted a snake charmer who went to her room. The snake that was killed inside her room was identified as a cobra. He added that another snake was also sighted and killed near the entrance of her residence. There was another snake outside her house by the entrance that was also killed. Reacting to the controversy surrounding the singer's death, the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, Abuja, expressed condolences to Nwagene's family, describing the incident as tragic and emotionally distressing, whilst insisting that every possible medical effort was made to save her life. In a press statement issued on Sunday by the hospital's head of clinical service, Dr. something or the other, FMC dismissed claims that the death of the 25-year-old singer, popularly known as Nanya, was caused by the non-availability of anti-snake venom. According to the statement, Nwagene's death died from severe neurotoxic complications arising from the snake bite she sustained on January 31st, 2026, despite what the hospital described as prompt and appropriate medical intervention. The hospital explained that following a rapid clinical assessment, doctors confirmed that the patient had already developed advanced neurotoxic effects, after which arrangements were made to transfer her to the intensive care unit for further management. However, FMC said her condition deteriorated suddenly shortly before the transfer could be completed. Despite aggressive resuscitation measures, including some medical term that I cannot pronounce, the patient could not be revived, the statement said. The hospital family refuted allegations that her death resulted from a lack of antivenom or negligence by its staff, describing such reports as misleading and inconsistent with the clinical facts. Our team of professionals worked diligently to provide CPR and other life-saving measures. However, despite these efforts, we were unable to revive her, FMC stated. The claims of non-availability of anti-snake venom and inappropriate response are unfounded and do not reflect the reality of the situation. We stand by the quality of care and dedication our team demonstrates daily. FMC urged the public to rely on credible and verified information rather than social media speculation, adding that it remains open to further inquiry regarding the incident. So there is such a pretty girl, actually, but she's classically ego, though, so she's pretty in an ego sort of way. But there she is right there, the unfortunate story of a rising star bitten by a snake. It's just sad. It's just sad. That's just what it is. So it's not sad. So we started off with that. I wasn't even going to start it off with that one. So yes, like, share, subscribe. Click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. If you want to come and join me on the screen, super chat towards the stream. Say hello to me in the comment section. The first person and only person to say hello to me so far is DJ Dodoye. So good to see you, DJ. But that's the narrative then of this unlucky girl. Then she's just unlucky. She's only 25, but What are you talking about, Charlie boy? Um, so it's just unfortunate. The narrative of that girl is just unfortunate. There is nothing else that describes it as just unfortunate. I don't imagine, because and I really hate this thing. We saw it with Chimamanda Adichie's child as well. I really hate the way that they try to politicize all these unfortunate incidents. So Chimamanda's son lost her life in a hospital in Lagos, and then they tried to destroy that hospital. This lady now loses her life in a hospital in Abuja, and now they are trying to destroy that hospital too. People lose their lives every day, unfortunately. That's just the misfortune. As soon as you are born, the only thing that is guaranteed is that you will die at some point. You just want a big gap between the two. So, unfortunate, but please don't politicize it. Good to see you, Abby, right there. So that's that. Let's go on from that. You know how we love statistics on this platform. So let's go to a little bit of statistics. So this statistic, or this is not even a statistic, or this is a data. So this data right here speaks to the most influential Black people in history up to date. So from all through the history of mankind till date, the most influential Black people, Black men, or Black people, we should say, this is the list of the most influential Black people that has ever lived. And this is according to what is being tabulated here. So Mansa Musa, for reasons of his wealth and political influence, is number one. Nelson Mandela is number. It's only because there's Nigerians on it. That's why we're reading it, of course. So Mansa Musa, according to this data now, is the most influential Black man in the history of Black people. Nelson Mandela, they are telling us as well. Martin Luther King is number three. Toussaint Louverture, I'm not quite sure who he is, but let me see, who is he actually? Let's educate ourselves a little bit. I don't know who that guy is, so let me just find out. Let us all find out together who he is. I wonder if Toussaint Louverture. He was the former governor general of Saint Dominique. So I'm not quite sure how that makes him influential, but there he is right there. There he is right there. Malcolm X is number 5. Harriet Tubman is number 6. Frederick Douglass, a lot of Americans on this space. So Marcus Garvey. So I'm not quite sure how Malcolm X or Harriet, whatever, or Frederick Douglass are more influential than Marcus Garvey. Shaka Zulu of South Africa is the first African to document. Haile Selassie is number 10. Jean-Jacques de Salim, he is right there. Queen Zinga of, I think that's also still of that Dominique. Kwame Nkrumah is number 13. Patrice Lumumba is number 14. Rosa Parks, the one that refused to sit at the back of the bus, she's number 15. W.E.B. Du Bois. So this Du Bois, I thought it was a South African. I thought it was a white person, but that's number 16. Number 17 is Ida B. Wells. I don't quite know who he is. Sojourner Truth is number 18. Bob Marley is number 19, and there he is right there. I think this one is a nod in the direction of Wizkid. Number 20, the 20th most influential Black person in the history of mankind is Fela Kuti, according to this table right here. So it goes on and on. Usain Bolt, Muhammad Ali, Serena Williams, Jack Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama. How Barack Obama is number 26. And we have all these names that nobody knows that they are ahead of him. I don't know. Maya Angelou, Angelou. She's a writer. Angelou, she's number 27. James Baldwin, number 28. Toni Morrison, number 29. And then number 30 is Chinua Achebe. And then number 31 is Wole Soyinka. So quite how Chinua Achebe comes above Wole Soyinka, that's not actually factually true, because Wole Soyinka has a globalized influence, and Chinua Achebe only has recognition really in Nigeria. So how is Chinua Achebe ahead of Wole Soyinka in global influence? Martin, look at so it goes on. So that's the list actually. I only wanted really to give the Nigerians the mention. So we got 3 Nigerians there: Wole Soyinka, Chinua Achebe, and then Fela Kuti. So that's that right there. What's this one? Why have I got it up? Oh, right. Oh, okay. Let me bring this up. Tell me if you can hear this in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll play to you from the studio. So this is Segun Showmi, a good friend of this platform, actually, because this guy right here, he has appeared twice on this platform, and he'll be appearing again anytime we call upon. But we'll wait nearer the elections and before we call him again. I don't like to have the same guest over and over again, but he will still come back at some point. He's been on this platform twice. But here he is now speaking to the permutations of the politics to come in 2027. So let's have a listen. Tell me in the comment section if you can hear it.
The zoning, let's see if we can wrap up the PDP. Zoning for the presidency for the PDP. The South
I think the only way I told someone on another platform maybe a couple of days ago, I said PDP has played its hands completely in the South. It's now on the place where say last card, check up. PDP is not.
Actually, let me pause it. Can somebody tell me? Yes, you can hear it. Okay, we listen on. Okay, brilliant. That's great. So this is Segun Showmi, as I said, speaking to the permutations of the politics, not even the politics to come, but the politics that is in play now.
The zoning, let's see if we can wrap up the PDP. Zoning for the presidency for the PDP. The South
I think the only way I told someone on another platform maybe a couple of days ago, I said PDP has played its hands completely in the South. It's now on the place where say last card, check up. PDP is now at last card, check up. And the only card they can play, ironically, is Peter.
Peter Obi.
That's the only card they have.
He's in the
ADC. Peter is not serious. He doesn't even know where his pathway to victory is. Peter could have stayed in his LP, and there would have been a clear pathway to victory.
There was a leadership crisis.
So what Segun Showmi is saying there is that the only impact that Peter Obi can have will be with the PDP, because the PDP has a nationwide structure. Failing that, to have stayed with the Labour Party, but him being with the ADC now, it just marks somewhat the end of his political career, because there is no future for him. There's nothing for him to gain with the ADC. So that's essentially what Segun Showmi is saying.
Can you stop? Every time Peter has to move, it's always somebody else, but not Peter. Ironically, it's Peter.
Peter.
Someone on another platform maybe a couple of days ago, I said PDP has played its hands completely in the South. It's now on the place where say last card, check up. PDP is now at last card, check up. And the only card they can play, ironically, is Peter.
Peter Obi.
That's the only card they have.
He's in the ADC.
Peter is not serious. He doesn't even know where his pathway to victory is. Peter could have stayed in his LP, and there would have been a clear pathway to victory.
There was a leadership crisis.
Can you stop? Every time Peter has to move, it's always somebody else, but not Peter.
And that is the narrative of Peter Obi right there. He never takes personal responsibility, no accountability. It's always somebody else's fault. I don't quite get it, actually, how he's able to get away with the things that he gets away with.
Don't deal with that kind of laziness. The responsibility.
Are you saying that Peter Obi is lazy?
Extremely. When it comes to structural thinking, he's very lazy. It's lazy to think that if he had been in Abga all this year, he couldn't have built this crowd, he would have. It's lazy for him to say that to think that if he was in PDP, he couldn't still have.
The problem with Peter Obi is that he doesn't like hard work. He doesn't want to put in the efforts to build anything. You know, rather than him to build a structure with, he could have built APGA. Now, that was the promise he made to Ojukwu. But of course, he built on APGA when things were not going his way anymore. He could have built his own space within the PDP. He had enough following them to have built something within the PDP. But because Peter Obi, he doesn't like the rigor of the work required, he built out of the PDP. But the most damning is Labour Party. Everything presented to him to own that party fully and build it in his own image. But again, he doesn't like the heavy lifting of the work required to build a structure. So he builds from there as well. So he now goes to the ADC, which was built by somebody else, now insisting that he wants the ticket. So for Segun Showunmi to say that he's lazy, his political antecedents tell us that indeed he is somewhat lazy.
So Peter is not serious. He doesn't even know where his pathway to victory is. Peter could have stayed in his LP and there would have been a clear pathway to victory.
There was a leadership crisis.
Can you stop?
Uncertainty.
Every time Peter has to move, it's always somebody else, but not Peter. I don't deal with that kind of laziness. The responsibility.
Are you saying that Peter B is lazy?
Extremely. When it comes to structural thinking, he's very lazy. He's lazy to think that if he had been in APGA all this year, he couldn't have built this crowd, he would have. It's lazy for him to say that to think that if he was in PDP, he couldn't still have been, he would have. It's extremely irritatingly lazy to think that if he had some problem of the LP, he would have not himself. I know Atiku very well, and nobody takes him for granted when it comes to primary. You know why? He has institutional experience of how this thing have worked out since 1992. You don't come into a political party where that kind of man is running for ticket and you think you're just going to start screaming your balls and say, I'm not going to agree if it will be to who and who's going to listen to that nonsense. Then you have to look at the other stakeholders that are there. There's the Buhari group.
Yes, he's extremely right, actually, Segun Showunmi. So all that screeching and squealing, the noise and shouting, that's never going to work with the people in the ADC. I don't think Rotimi Amechi, I don't think he cares, especially about whatever noise anybody is making that Peter Obi. Rotimi Amechi is not moved by you saying Peter Obi or nothing. Abubakar Malami is not moved by you saying Peter Obi or nothing. Atiku is not moved. Nobody in the ADC cares about that nonsense. You know, they'll just look at Obi funny that, look, why is this guy being so silly? He can't control his own people. So the shouting is not a strategy with the ADC. These are long in the tooth politicians that have cycled that wagon so many times. So the screeching and squealing is not anything to these people.
Pins that make up a very fight Pantami and all of that. You're going to bully those ones. Do they look like people that are easily bullied? So what are you doing there? If your numbers are your 6 million animated numbers that you got the last time, do you not understand that leaders have responsibility to manage the house? It's like the father of a house running out just because some kids are crying. Your duty is to attend to the problem. Some of them you have to punish. Some of them you have to scold. Some of them you have to pamper. Peter isn't capable of organizing anything apart from this silly show he does all over the. But hey, it's still something because there's animated energy there. There's enough energy, and luckily for him, there's also some entitlement legitimacy.
You see that entitlement legitimacy right there. I think we may well do a session on that Segun Showunmi appearance on Arise TV because or was it on channels? Because I think there might be something there. It's only really because of that last statement that he made. Entitlement legitimacy. So there is a legitimacy to the argument that it is the turn of the Southeasterners to govern the country. There is a legitimacy to that. If you want to discount that Goodluck Jonathan is a Southeasterner, a lot of people will argue that he is. But if you want to discount that Goodluck Jonathan is a Southeasterner, then you have to go. We've never really had a Southeastern president. I think we can say that. Nnamdi Azikiwe never had any political power. He was just a ceremonial head. So he doesn't count for anything. Aguiyi-Ironsi was there for barely 6 months. So you can't really count that as a presidency. So if you look at Nigeria from independence to date, there's the argument that we've never had a Southeastern president. And this cycle now that we're in, that Tinubu is president, there is the argument that it should actually have been the Southeasterners, because you've had Obasanjo, in fact, you've had Obasanjo twice. So you've had Yar'Adua, you've had Buhari even twice. So now that power transits to the south, it should really have gone to the southeast. So that's the legitimacy, that's the entitlement legitimacy that Segun Showunmi was speaking to. So that is, it's a credible argument, and it's a compelling one as well, and it's a moral one as well. If you want a united country, then you cannot preclude certain regions from governance. So that's the entitlement legitimacy. But the way it's being politics is what is actually preventing it from gaining what it wants. So the way that entitlement legitimacy is being politics, the manner that Peter Obi is persecuting that entitlement legitimacy, that is what is precluding him from the opportunity in any realistic fashion. And then, of course, Peter Obi is entirely the wrong choice to occupy the southeastern slot for the presidency, because people don't like him. Outside of his core following, people don't like Peter Obi. Nigerians in general don't like him. And I think that's just a fact. So that's the entitlement legitimacy that, that Segun Showunmi was speaking to right there. So let me show you something curious and funny, actually. So this one, I'm not sure if you. I'm not. So let me cut the volume because it might give me a copyright strike. I'm not quite sure if you will say this is funny or tragic, but let me show it to you, and then you make your decisions on what you think it is. So I'm not quite sure if this is funny or tragic. Let me play this to you, and then you form your own thoughts. So is this funny or is this tragic? Let me give you a clue. I don't. You don't even need a clue. You'll see it all in a moment. So a nice, you see, that's an expensive leg right there. You don't even have to be anything other than to know that even those shoes and the trousers, they are already telling you $1 million babe. But where is the $1 million babe heading to? Well, she's climbing stairs to enter what looks like a private aircraft. And who is massaging her leg? It's your friend Adams Oshiomhole. Look at that. My God. My God. So is this tragic, or is this this is where all your money is going to, by the way? And that is his own private jet too. I'm pretty certain of that. They all have private jets. So there it is right there. That is Adams or Oshiomhole putting your Nigerian money, your commonwealth, putting it to good use. So let's go on from that. So this is the headline piece. Coup plot against Tinubu, full list of 40 suspects detained for alleged plan to depose government emerges. So essentially the rogue list. Coup plot against Tinubu, full list of 40 suspects detained for alleged plan to depose government emerges. So there's no punctuation actually before that emerges. There should be a punctuation there. Nigerian security agencies have concluded investigations into an alleged coup plot to violently overthrow President Bola Tinubu's administration. As reported by correspondents on Sunday, February the 1st, 40 suspects have now been identified in connection with the alleged coup plot. The chief of the Minister of Defense, he's actually been doing the media cycle explaining. It was Segun Okunbaloye just as early as yesterday, explaining just the whole process of the coup. The suspects include senior military officers across the armed forces, a police officer, and civilians allegedly involved in spying, funding, and propaganda operations. Correspondent said this newspaper said it has obtained the names of those arrested following a covert intelligence operation coordinated by Army headquarters and the Department of State Services. Sources said 13 people were apprehended by the DSS, including 2 military personnel, 1 retired, 1 policeman, and 10 civilians. So I think it promised us the list of 40. Yes, pardon me. Yes, the suspects include senior military officers across the armed forces, a police officer, and civilians allegedly involved in spying, funding, and propaganda operations. This newspaper said it has obtained the name of those arrested following a covert intelligence operation coordinated by the Army headquarters and the Department of State Services, DSS. Our sources said 13 people were apprehended by the DSS, including 2 military personnel, 1 retired, 1 police officer, and 10 civilians, in connection with the alleged plot. 16 military officers were arrested for direct participation, 2 civilians for reconnaissance, 2 for being recruited to incite public disobedience to justify the coup, and 5 others in connection with funding channels. 1 detained soldier escaped custody but was later rearrested by DSS in Bauchi State, according to correspondents. The investigation has identified retired General Adamu as one. Who is this retired General Adamu? That's the question. As one of the key figures connected to the network. He remains at large alongside 3 other suspects. Correspondents understand that authorities are awaiting President Tinubu's approval to formally constitute a court-martial panel to try the soldiers involved. In an earlier report, sources with direct knowledge of the investigation identified top officials allegedly marked for assassination by the coupists. They include President Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas. They have people inside the villa who monitor the movement of these officials. The plan was to kill them at the same time and install a military government. So these are the names of the suspects below. A.D. Dauda, Major, M.A. Sadiq, Brigadier General, S.M. Ghana, Lieutenant General, M.A. Marji. So he's the public face of the coup, is the one whose image is being paraded, circulated all over the place. So it's all northerners. The abundance of them are northerners. A.A. Jama, Lieutenant General, S. Bapa, Lieutenant General, M. Amakura, Lieutenant General, A.A. Hayatu, Lieutenant General, P. Dang Nap, Lieutenant General, J.M. Ganax, Major, A.J. Ibrahim, Major, M. M.M. Jida, Major, M.A. Usman, D. Yusuf, N.G. Zuzu, S.B. Adamu. And by the way, they were planning this coup at the handing over ceremony from Buhari to Tinubu. So it was even nothing to do with Tinubu. They just didn't want power to leave their hands. S.D. Adamu, squadron leader, D.B. Abdullahi, Lieutenant Commander, A. Mohammed, J. Ilayasu, G. Binuga, A.A. Yusuf, I. Bello, S.S. Felix, J. Aminu, Nasiru Ibrahim, Sanda Usman, Mohammed Zubairu, Momo Audu, Ahmed Ibrahim, Goni Bukar, E.O. Victor, that he's from the Navy, E.O. Victor, Umaru Zekari, Y. Nasiru, Sambo Danladi, Abdullahi, Abdullahi, Ali Isa, M.L. Mohammed, UI Yusuf, Stanley Kingsley Amandi. So this Stanley Kingsley Amandi is not a soldier, is actually a Nollywood actor who was meant to help them do the propaganda to justify the coup after they would have done it. It's a Nollywood actor. I Am Ghana, that's the last one. So that's the list of 40 that were allegedly, well, not allegedly now, I think a lot of them, they are all gone. It says, meanwhile, a Yoruba social political organization, Yoruba Commitment Forum, has condemned rumors of an alleged coup plot against President Tinubu, describing it as a grave affront to Nigeria's democracy and a provocation against the Yoruba people. In a statement signed by its convener, Otumba Tayo Onoyemi, Secretary, Barrister Akim, something or the other, Buki, something or the other, etc., the group expressed shock that anyone could contemplate an unconstitutional takeover of power after 25 years of uninterrupted democratic governance. The forum emphasized that since Nigeria's independence, the Yoruba has remained committed to democratic ideals and have never led an unconstitutional change of government. Earlier correspondents reported that Adamu Gaba, a former presidential aspirant on the platform of the All Progressive Congress APC, asserted that no coup campaign or plot will survive in Nigeria. Gaba stated that in the event of a coup, that a coup is planned, international actors will come in, dismantle the plotters, and restore democracy. So that's that. So that's it's totally a northern coup anyway, but with some misguided person from the southeast who are going to be their propagandist once they've carried out the coup. But that's that right there. So that's that right there. A Hollywood actor, okay, when did he become Hollywood? It's Nollywood now. So this one now, you know, this never-ending argument of the need of just how widespread the... Anyway, this is Nedunwoko. Let's hear what he has to say, and then we run commentaries. Tell me if you can hear it in the comments section. I'll just wait for it to reload. All right, let me pause it there. Tell me if you can hear this in the comment section.
Is that according to Delta State gazetted laws, there are only 5 ethnic groups in Delta: the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Ejos, the Shekiris, and the Isokos. There's no mention of Benin. There's no mention of Yorubas, or also within Delta North.
Apart from Delta North,
yeah,
there are those who say, and you might be touching the wrong nerve here. In River State, for example,
yeah,
there are Igbos there.
of course, yeah.
The Aquarius.
Opobos.
Or the Opobos.
They're everywhere. Igbos are everywhere. Igbos actually.
So, for example, are you hoping that they will join the Anoma State, or Anoma State is going to solely from your proposition and the literature that they have put forward?
So this now not refusing to go away narrative, this push for an Anoma State, and one of the leading proponents, one of the leading champions of that Anoma State push, the lobbying for Anoma State, is Nedunwoko, and he's telling us here that the people in that region, there are about 5 tribes, the Igbos being a core member of them. You know, the Igbos have always argued that they have a strong and compelling presence within that space, but the people of those spaces have always told us that they are not part of them. But this is one of the seniors from that space now telling us that the Igbos are indeed part of them.
Or it's going to be solely from the 9 local government areas of Delta North.
Look, with initially my bill was centered around the 9 local government areas. The fact is that according to Delta State gazetted laws, there are only 5 ethnic groups in Delta, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Ejos, the Shekiris, and the Isokos. There's no mention of Benin. There's no mention of Yorubas or also within Delta North.
Apart from Delta North,
Yeah.
there are those who say, and you might be touching the wrong nerve here. In River State, for example,
Yeah.
there are Igbos there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The Aquarius.
Opobos.
Or the Opobos.
They're everywhere. Igbos are everywhere. Igbos are actually.
So if you create, for example, are you
All right. I think it's repeating on itself somewhat there, but there it is right there. The never ending saga of the push for an Anioma state. So the push for an Anioma state shows no signs of abating. Can people please like and subscribe? We're not seeing numbers going up, so please push numbers up. Like and subscribe, if you would please. Like and subscribe. Let's go on from that to Abubakar Malami, who is now telling us now that all the 200 and something, near 300 billion naira assets that the government seized, they are all from its legitimate earnings. This is a guy that didn't come into governance with a kobo. Malami urges courts to reverse interim property forfeiture order. An ex-Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, SAN, has urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to reverse its order issued on January the 6th for the interim forfeiture of some of his property. Malami, in a motion filed by his lawyer, Joseph Dauda, also gave details of his earnings whilst in office. In the motion, Malami is seeking the release of 3 of the 57 properties affected by the order issued by Justice Emeka Inwite upon a motion of ex parte for interim forfeiture filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. He is praying for 2 reliefs: an order of this honorable court vacating, setting aside, and or discharging the interim order of this honorable court made on the 6th of January 2026 against the respondents' properties listed as number 7, 18, and 42 in the schedule of properties attached to the interim order of forfeiture 6th of January 2026. The said properties have been duly declared in the respondents/applicants' asset declaration forms throughout his tenure as a public officer, and number 48 is held in trust for the estate of late Kadi Malami Nasarawa. An order of this honorable court. So I think it goes on to give us a list of how he feels he's earned the money to own these properties. An order of this honorable court vacating, setting aside, and discharging the interim order of this honorable court, etc., etc. An order of this honorable court restraining the applicant, respondent, EFCC, acting by itself or through its servants or agents and proxies from interfering with the respondent's properties in issues or disturbing the respondents' respondent/applicant's ownership, possession, and control thereof in the course of purportedly giving effect to the order of the honorable court. The 3 properties being claimed by Malami include plot 157 Lamido Crescent, Nasarawa, GRA Kano, purchased on July the 31st, 2019. So that will be after he came into office. The others are a bungalow duplex and boys' quarters at number 2 at Yalinga Street off Adetokunbo, Ademola Crescent, Wuse 2, Abuja, purchased on October the 18th at 150 million naira. So that will be because he was immediately the Attorney General as soon as Buhari took over 2015. So that was also whilst he was in office. And ADC Kadi Malami Foundation building bought at 56 million naira, listed as number 18 and number 42 in the schedule of property submitted to the court. Malami argued that the property listed are as numbers 18 and 48. The subject of interim forfeiture, especially those declared in its various asset declaration forms, are not linked with by prima facie evidence of an unlawful activity or a specific offense. The ex-Attorney General of the Federation stated that he declared the assets listed in his asset declaration form filed with the Code of Conduct Bureau 2019 and 2023. He said the properties marked number 48 is held in trust by him for the benefit of the estate of his late father. Malami added, these assets, their value, and their root of title have been clearly stated and specifically demonstrated in various asset declaration forms spanning from 2019 to 2023. The declaration above is prima facie evidence of the legitimacy of the acquisition and ownership of the properties. Malami stated that he copiously declared his earnings in his asset declaration form filed to include 375 million naira income from salaries, Esther Code, severance allowance, and others. Sitting allowances as a board/committee member of the Federal Judicial Council, Federal Capital Territory Judicial Service Commission, Legal Practitioner Privileges Committee, and a high-powered presidential committee. For $500 million as income generated through disposed assets, 10 billion naira turnover from businesses, 2.5 billion naira being loans to businesses, 958 million naira as a traditional gift from personal friends. Malami also is trying to justify why he owns nearly 300 billion naira in property. So he's giving us a list of his earnings or his incomes that should justify the ownership. The totality of everything is put together. It's not up to 15 billion, but but that 15 billion bought him 300 billion naira in assets. Malami also stated that a total of 510 million naira was realized as income from the launch and publication of a book. These streams of income and the continuing profits generated from the businesses over the years sufficiently show that the properties sought to be forfeited were acquired through legitimate and lawful means as stated in the assets declaration. According to him, the order of interim forfeiture is not based on any prima facie establishment of unlawful purpose and is liable to be set aside. So that's Abubakar Malami right there, still living in dreamland. They should just shoot the guy and have it over and done with. So what else do I have for you, actually? So if people want to come in now, we're coming to the end of the readout. So if you want the conversation, come in. And please, can people please like and subscribe? That's the most important of all of everything. Like and subscribe, if you would, please. Like and subscribe. It's now gotten to that point now. Now, and a matter of begging now. All right, so this is the response to Charles Soludo telling them that if they don't open their shops, they will shut it down. Sit at home. Our people can be coerced into abandoning Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB hails total compliance. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said the widespread compliance recorded during Monday's sit at home across all parts of the Southeast proves that residents cannot be intimidated into abandoning the group's detained leader, Nnamdi Kanu. The sit-at-home was declared by IPOB in solidarity with traders. In the Onitsha main market, following the closure of their shops by Charles Soludo. Although the government later reopened the market, After 1 week, only a small number of traders reportedly returned to their stores. Across Anambra State, major roads were widely deserted, whilst offices, businesses, and schools remained closed, especially during the morning hours. Reacting in a statement, IPOB spokesperson Ima Powerful described the exercise as recording total compliance across Biafra land, praising residents of the Southeast for what he called their unwavering support for Nnamdi Kanu. He said the outcome of the sit-at-home showed that the people are determined to resist intimidation and coercion in their continued demand for Nnamdi Kanu's release from detention. According to IPOB, the shutdown across communities was a strong expression of unity and a clear message that the threat or pressures would not break the loyalty of the Biafran people. So over to you, Charles Soludo. That's the thing now. He says he's going to bulldoze the whole thing if they don't comply. So go and bulldoze it. 2027, I'll run for president, not vice. So this is Peter Obi now. So he said it so often now that if he now goes to settle for vice presidency, he would have lost whatever little respect he has left. Not that he really has the respect of. We are now in the realms of desperation now. It's just desperate stuff now. 2027, I'll run for president, not as vice. Your friend Peter Obi. Peter Obi has declared his intention to contest for the 2027 presidential ticket as a presidential candidate, firmly ruling out the possibility of accepting a vice presidential slot. Speaking at a campaign event for the African Democratic Congress ADC candidates in the Federal Capital Territory area council elections held at the Abuja municipal area, Obi made it clear that his political ambition is focused on leading the ticket. Addressing party supporters, Obi said his participation in the AMAC election campaign is directly connected to his broader national ambition. He urged party members and residents to support the ADC candidate, noting that success at the local level will strengthen his wider political project. He emphasized that his involvement in future elections will be in a leading role, not in a supporting role. Support us in AMAC. It will help me. Your support in AMAC is critical to our journey. I am involved and contesting the coming election as number one. When I come back, you will see, I assure you, Obi said. Obi's declaration comes amidst growing calls from his supporters, especially members of the Obedient Movement, who have been urging the ADC leadership to adopt him as the party's presidential flag bearer for 2027. The ADC, however, also has other prominent figures with presidential ambitions within its ranks, including Atiku Abubakar and Rotimi Amechi, setting the stage for an intense contest ahead of the elections. So that's Peter Obi right there. It's not equivocal. It's quite clear that he wants to be president. So we'll see. But then, of course, we know that you can never hold Obi to his words. He will just very, very quickly, after the primaries, he will just say, look, I'll just take vice presidency. If you don't want to follow me, don't follow me. Enough of you will follow me for it not to make a difference. So this one now is Gambari, the foreign minister under Buhari, coming out to speak. So what does he have to, was he chief of staff, not foreign minister? Former chief of staff Ibrahim Gambari reveals how northern governors met Buhari ahead of the 2023 elections to anoint a successor. Former chief of staff to late President Muhammadu Buhari, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, has revealed that Buhari clearly told 19 northern governors he had no anointed successor ahead of the 2023 presidential election. Gambari made the disclosure during an interview on Channels Television's Politics Today, explaining that the issue came up during a private meeting between Buhari and the governors after they had collectively agreed that power should shift to the south. According to Gambari, the northern governors had already signed a declaration supporting a southern presidency and then sought an audience with Buhari to confirm whether he had a preferred candidate to succeed him. He, Buhari, did not feel he should have anointed a candidate, Gambari said. The 19 northern state governors came to Buhari after they had made a declaration that the next president of the country should come from the south. They now said they wanted to see the president, and when I told him and I said they want to see you, he said, what about? I said they want to know whether you have an anointed candidate. You are their leader, he said. Gambari said he was present at the meeting and could only speak to what he personally witnessed. I was at that meeting and I would like to talk about what I know. And they are all witnesses, he said. It will be recalled that both Abechi and Oshibanjo contested the APC primaries, but lost to the party's national leader, etc., etc. So that's that. So that's Ibrahim Gambari giving us a little bit of historical backdrop to how that thing played out with Buhari, etc. So that's me done. Let me send the link again. If you want the conversation coming, I'll play the Kegite music and then we'll see what happens after that.
Only water, where is Sima? Hapa you don't come oh. Hapa oh night oh. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
Right there. And that is right there. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe, may death have nothing to do with us. So joining us is Simba. So Simba with us. Hopefully he's there. Otherwise, we might just have to shut it down. Dr. Alajagba. Look, Simba is like one of those foodie musicians. So many titles. Alhaji Dr. Simba.
Oh man.
Megida. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Where are you now? You seem to live on an aeroplane anyway, here, there, and everywhere. Where in the world are you now? Are you home or are you in Saudi or somewhere else?
No, presently I'm in Saudi.
What are you doing up so early? What time is it there actually?
It's past 6 here.
Whoa. Oh, okay, no, that's not so bad.
That's
Oh,
why most of the time I can't, because your time is not in favor of us here.
yes.
Because this is our time for to go to work. We resume work at 7:30, so I have just like an hour to go to work.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Let's use that hour then to assess your position in the politics. So what are you looking? Are you following actually just randomly? Are you following the narrative of this quiet girl that got bitten by a snake and lost her life? Are you in that story or you're not aware of it?
I'm aware, yes, I'm fully aware.
Yes, they are trying to blame the federal medical facility in Abuja, but it looks as though they took her there laterally, and the hospital are saying that look, she was too advanced. They gave her the treatment that. What are you making of it? It has echoes of the Chimamanda Adachi something where they are trying to shut down the health facility because somebody lost their life.
Well, let me start by saying that it's actually quite unfortunate to lose such a young lady in such a manner like that. And so, when something happens, people grieve. And you also know that in Nigeria, we try as much as possible to, play a blame game and try to blame government for everything. Well, it's quite unfortunate. Having a snake bite, most snake are actually not venomous. Majority of the snake are not venomous, and even some that are venomous, if they are not provoked, it might be a friendly bite, which might not actually introduce any venom into the affected person. But in this case, it's like there was quite some delay before the presentation in the Federal Medical Center. One of the problems that we have in Nigeria is that this anti-snake venom is actually something that most hospitals don't stock, even most pharmacies don't stock them, because if you stock them, it's not kind of things that people request for most of the time. So it gets expired and it's very expensive. So that does not mean that I'm giving the excuse for the Federal Medical Center, because if you want to treat a snake bite that is actually venomous in an adult, you will need at least 20 to 30 vials of that anti-snake venom. And you can imagine them having only one in stock. So, because you give according to the way the patient responds to the treatment. In this case, the type of snake that bites the person, this woman or lady, is actually a neurotoxic venom. Because the one thing that we normally advise people is that, one, you have to clear
They
your
said it was a
environment.
cobra, Simba. They said it was a
Yes,
cobra.
but it was after that they came with the dead snake. It was after the incident that happened. Usually, what we normally advise them is that once it happens, if there are people around that can help the victim, they should kill the snake and bring the snake to the hospital. So, because by seeing the snake, you know that this snake is actually venomous, and you know the type of venom that they have. Though the anti-venom that we use in Nigeria is actually a polyvalent that can actually cut across all the venom of snake that we have. So it's a polyvalent type that we use in Nigeria. But I actually is quite unfortunate, because I think they went to like 2 hospitals before they eventually landed in Federal Medical Center.
Yes, they said
And
they took her to a private hospital, which didn't have, and like you said, it's not a common ailment. And I'm not sure how many times in the course of a year they will have somebody coming in with a snake bite. And usually those things are treated traditionally. Just
across my practice in Nigeria, I only managed snake bites on 3 occasions over 20 years.
So there it is. Why would you stock it? And if you're saying it's an expensive drug, but it's just so sad. But it's equally sad that the way they are now trying to politicize it in the way that they did with the Chimamanda Adache.
Well, you know, Nigeria with politics, we politicize a lot of things, and you can't blame them. Everybody, you know, in politics, you use as many things as you can use to actually put out your thoughts to people and win their hearts. So it is unfortunate that we are using life also to do politics in that country. It's quite unfortunate.
All right. Shall I take you to the East to speak about IPOB, or did you have anything in particular you wanted to speak to?
No, let me even speak about the coup.
Yes. Okay.
You know, if you look at with the information that is available now, they say that the coup has actually been in motion before the inauguration of Tinubu. And that time they said that probably they don't have enough funding. That was why they shelved the idea of even doing it during the inauguration ceremony. Now look at it from 2023 to September last year, before they now said, okay, we got the information. The questions that Nigerians are not asking is that what actually was the motivation for these people to plan this coup? And what would be their what message did they want to pass across to Nigeria? And then if eventually they actually succeeded, what kind of Nigeria do they want to actually live for Nigerian? Because they are not looking at the consequence of this coup. If eventually they succeeded in eliminating all these people that they wanted to eliminate, what will become of Nigeria after that coup? So those are the questions that we are not asking. So is actually, and then if you look at it now, people are now giving it some kind of regional or ethnic coloration, even liking it to the first coup in Nigeria in January 15, 1966. So is it not going to polarize that country? Can it even lead that country to another civil war? So I think it was actually a time bomb that will actually escape if you look at it, if actually that coup actually succeeded. The Nigerians are not thinking of that.
It was meant to be a very violent coup, Simba. And if you look at the ethnic mix of they identified some certain people for assassination, and then even the army structures, they were going to either detain them or kill them. But Tinubu certainly was to be wiped out, Kashim Shettima to be wiped out, Tajuddin Abbas to be wiped out, Godswill Akpabio to be wiped out. So if you look at the top two, Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, so for the first time you have, I think Kashim Shettima might well be the most senior Kanuri we've ever had in governance, unless somebody wants to correct me on that. And then you have the Yoruba person for the first time, but not for the first time, being the president. So because we're so ethnic and tribal in our thinking, if they had succeeded, then that would be an anti-Yoruba and an anti-Kanuri coup right there. Would it not?
You know what, man? You know, if you remember that we have discussed this coup initially when the news broke out that time. And that since that, even during that period, the Northerners came out and said the name that they released is usually predominant of Northerners, that it's not true, that it was just a political witch hunt and whatever now. Most of the people that are not seeing that now that they have confirmed it, they all remain silent. And you know the funny thing, another question that we are not asking now, our political leaders, the people that are now, even the people that are now contesting for presidency, one man, Azobi or Kwakwaso or Atiku come out to condemn this coup. Have you seen them condemning it?
I've not even seen them mention it anywhere. And Obi is very quick to, if somebody boils egg and if
you say we are Democrats and we want democracy, and the people that are trying to, our presidential candidates, people at least at the top echelon of our politics, they are not condemning coup in this present day Nigeria. What does that one speak of them? So you can see the problem that we have in that country. You know that any time there is a military coup, is actually the civilian that actually normally started it, not even the military themselves. It's the civilians that normally started it. So there are still some revelation that we still
please, Simba, what do you want them to say?
At least they should condemn it. That's what I'm saying.
How can you condemn something that you don't have information about?
Which other information?
All this while, even the government denied that there was no coup, right? So you can just like speak to something that is not available to you. The facts are not out.
I don't know why you are defending this thing that is not.
I know. I'm being honest with you. If you say,
you are just
listen. I'm not defending anybody. Myself, I do not condemn it. Most Nigerians are not condemning it because we don't have facts about the coup. It was done in a shoddy way. It was so hidden, right? Unlike before, if it's a coup, within 2-3 days, they've told you who and who did it, and you are seeing them court-martialed, right? This one, you said it happened before the election. So this is 3 years into the presidency. Why were they running? Why were they still free, walking around? So the facts are not out. Let us wait and let us see what is going on, because you can't trust. I can't trust this government and what they're saying. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? I can't say it's fair enough. You cannot condemn it. You are just condemning it based on what they just told you. But in an actual sense, you cannot make like a statement of TV.
Is there anything wrong? He said if it happens, this is condemnable, and does it take anything away from them? No,
you cannot just make statement. It takes something from them. It takes away their integrity. Let them wait until the facts are out and they make a statement.
I don't even know the other fact that you are waiting for now.
Have they not been speaking generally about issues on which they have no facts? Tell me one issue Obi has a fact. What the issue has been speaking on, which of them did he ever have a fact?
He has facts on every one of them, and he has given solutions to every one of them.
On social media, this thing, he talks about
you are the one seeing it that way. But those of us who know what he's talking about, we understand what he's saying. You don't want to listen to what he's saying because he's speaking facts.
Well, hold on. What we are saying is that institutions that are supposed to speak about it have spoken. The army as an institution has spoken about it. The defense ministry as an institution has spoken about it. So which fact do you want? You want them to say, oh, this is how we are trying them. They are inside underground bunker. Who is he to have all that information?
Okay, then you say who is he? Then he doesn't give an F about you too. Stop making it like if he doesn't talk about it, we're talking about. Who are you that will make it talk? Who are you? Who is Tinubu to make it talk?
I don't care if he talks. So
maybe the army guy would have done us a favor though. Looking at our economy today, and the army is me talking. They would have done us a favor.
Let's pick one after the other. We are only bringing out this fact so that people will know who is who. So that we'll see who are those pretending, who are those that are open and truthful in their dealings.
I don't care. This government is too. I don't know, right? So nobody. I won't take anything that comes out of. Three years. You're not talking about the like the school attitude of the government itself. You are blaming those that did not condemn. But it took your government 3 years to arrest people who were accused of trying to commit coup.
So
3
you
years.
are blaming them
Within that 3 years, within that 3 years, they would have committed that. Hold on, please. Within that 3 years, they would have struck. Did you see it that way? Hold on, please. Within that 3 years, coup plotters.
Jewel, hold on. Let me just wrap up.
You didn't think that they will strike? You didn't think they will strike?
When it comes to your time, you can say whatever you want to say.
Go ahead.
So, okay, that's my own point, because I think what is expected of them is for them to actually, if they call themselves Democrats, I think they need to speak out and let them.
Let me ask you this question, Simba. Do you think that Peter Obi and Atiku would have actually welcomed that coup if they had succeeded?
Yes, they will be happy. That is it. Especially Obi. Obi will be very happy. They'll be very happy.
I think many Nigerians will.
All the opposition, if you look at them, all the opposition, all of them are mute. Nobody is saying anything. All of them.
Didn't they canvass for the coup? Didn't they go to defense ministry after Tinubu?
Why not? Exactly. Immediately after the result of the election, were they not the one asking for military coup? The same people that are now saying that they are not getting information. I don't even know the kind of Nigeria they wanted. Very desperate people.
You know what struck me was that they were saying that the original plan was to carry out the coup at the inauguration. So what would have been the arguments that they would have used to justify that coup? You know, what would have been the argument?
That is the question I'm asking. That there are a lot of questions Nigerians have to ask.
But another question we should be asking the government is, why did it take them this long to arrest them? That's a very good question that Joel brought. Why did it take them this long to arrest them?
According to the Minister of Defense, he said that they have to do, because initially the reason why he said they denied it was for them not to escape and for them to have a real fact, because they don't just want to go and arrest people.
2 years.
And then they now come out and say no, it doesn't happen.
Yes, but the other thing is, I think they actually, you know, because there were two.
I think one more, if I may ask you, is it? I think this will probably be the first coup against civilian government that has not succeeded.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, you know.
So you cannot
Jagari before now that failed.
Which one? Which year?
I think there was a coup. Yeah.
That was publicly announced?
No, there was no. You see, okay, another thing that Joel is saying is that in the past that when the plan coup within 2 days, you already know. No, the ones that you know is the one that was executed. There are so many coups that happened during Abacha's time that were not even announced at all. That were foiled at the level of military, and it didn't even go out.
What about even we have phantom coup now? Even coup did not happen, and the fake coup and
even real coup. There are real coup. There were real coup in Abacha's time that took place that people didn't know. That was
just to what Joel was saying about what took them 3 years. My understanding is that there were two coups being. The original coup was meant to take place in during the inauguration. Buhari handing over to Tinubu. So that was the original plan, but they could not perfect that plan at that point. And then they moved it forward then to the Independence Day anniversary last year. So that was when they had perfected their plan and they were going to carry it out. But in between those two, one of them then it broke rank and reported it. So I don't think they were aware of the initial coup to take place. I think it was last year that they actually got wind of it. And then in the course of investigation, they were then able to trace back that these people were actually intending it as early as the inauguration.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then there's a point there.
What is their reason, if I may ask?
They don't want a southerner. They don't want a southerner to be their president. It's as simple as that.
Because it's
A woman, to be honest with you, is actually dumb for any military coup to happen in Nigeria. I don't know how people see Nigeria. I don't know what Nigerians think about Nigeria, but I believe the level Nigeria is now, I don't think a coup. You see South Africa, you see Kenya, you see Ghana, you see Nigeria. Anybody who is planning, any military in those countries planning a coup, more especially Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria, it's actually a dumb thing because it's going to be very chaotic. The country will eventually be shut down. It's going to be chaotic. I don't know who wants to do that to over 2 million people, 200 million people. I don't know who wants to do that. But one man, I actually don't want to be dwelling on this coup because I see it as a kind of bitterness, coup out of bitterness. I don't even know why they want to do the coup. Number one, they just ruled for 8 years. The front runner was Tinubu, seconded by Atiku. Are they saying Atiku would have been the president or what? Or are they trying to tell us that it's Atiku that planned the coup? I don't understand. But needless to discuss it honestly. It has happened, it failed. We should move past it.
But does it not open up the possibility of a copycat attempt? Because now that it has been, and I think it's what is going on in the Sahel that inspires this, all this Traore and all that. They want to be the Traore of Nigeria or something. But
No,
my own fear is that it might well inspire some sort of, because everybody thought that Nigeria had gone past that phase.
no.
But now that he has been brought back into play, it might well trigger some copycat attempt by some misguided Major General Dan Ladi or something.
You know what, man?
Look,
I think the way the coup was planned, if it were to be maybe in the 60s, would have been succeeded. But that kind of planning in the present day Nigeria and with the way our military is organized now, I think those guys are just jokers.
one man, I don't think it's a copycat. I don't think so because you don't copy something that is failing or something that failed. Those Sahel countries that are not doing great. Either way you want to look at it. I don't care the propaganda they are putting out about their economy, about their security. But friends I know who do documentary, those places are in shambles. So I don't think it's a copycat. Now, if you go back to the history of Nigeria, for those who read history, I don't want to talk about history. Let me make references because I prefer references than history. One man, if you go back to Nigeria, you never ever seen a time in Nigeria where Nigerians went to a military base, kneeling down, begging them to take over Nigeria. That is a plus for the military. It is actually a plus for them. That video alone went viral. They have a reason to do a coup. I was even surprised they didn't hit the ground running. Are you there?
We're all listening.
Yeah, because Nigerians as Nigerians in their history, they are not actually people who like coup. I don't think Nigerians like coup. because Nigerian coups are bloodbath over the years. It might affect your brother. I remember when IBB buried the whole plan of how many generals and major generals inside the plane. I can never forget that incident. All of them died. Is it IBB or Abacha? One of them did that, shenanigan. So it is something that Nigerians don't really look forward to. They don't like it. It makes their market unstable. It makes them confused. It makes them not to lay hands on what is next. It's been happening like that over the years. So for Nigerians to wake up in crowd to go and kneel in front of Dodam barracks, in front of military camps, begging them to come and take over the country. You didn't see that as a strong message. That was a strong message. So I shouldn't be looking at it that they're doing copycat. I would be looking at it that they're answering a call that they were not able to decode before answering. That's the way I will see it. So the people that knelt down, one man in 2020, I don't know, because most of us don't really watch keenly what is happening. I watch keenly. When I want to watch a situation, I watch every bit of it. Do you know that for the first time in Nigeria in 2023, a presidential candidate who lost an election stand in forefront of a demonstration? And you think that is not a signal? Gathered crowd. I think we did that in 2023. He marched in front of the demonstration. I don't know who advised him to do that. Demonstrating when we have the judiciary. He went to the street. And these are miscreants, touts, idiots that one time hold a position in Nigeria as a vice president. How do we get here? I don't know. But I believe that one day Nigeria will be saved.
All right, brilliant. As the room continues to populate, let's do 5 minutes monologues. So we kick it off with Simba, who has the floor anyway. So Simba, give us 5 minutes. We go from you to Patoski, Joel of Nashville, Zita with us as well, others to come in as well, especially Ola, you come in as well. So Simba, back to you. So now, but are they able to carry out they are waiting for Tinubu actually to signal that they should start doing the court martial. But I don't think Tinubu wants that process pre the elections, because it's a distraction, and the consequences for what these people have done, we all know the consequences. And does it want to take on the political toxin of slaughtering 14 northerners just on the eve of an election? So how does it play this? Simba.
It's going to be a difficult situation. I think one saving grace that he has is that that military, they will be court-martialed by the military, not a usual civilian court. So I don't think what will happen is that they will be court-martialed. Whatever verdict, they might just allow them to be in prison pending when they go and the president will assent to whatever the judgment, whether to kill them or to give them life jail. But I don't think it will just allow them to just be in prison without being court-martialed. I don't think it will do that.
But do you think the court-martial will be before or after the elections?
Even before. Election that you are talking about is almost 1 year now, so they can't just be in
yeah, but if they do the court-martial, then the story will carry into the election. It will be right at the heart of the election phase.
It doesn't have any option. It just have to court-martial them, try them, and then it can wait for the execution of whatever they want to do after the election. So one man can move to the
but
next
then there's still an appeal
I don't
process
think,
anyway.
woman, I don't think civilian democracy has a law for military misbehavior. That thing will be handled by the military. I don't think democracy, Senate, House, presidency, judiciary have a place for military. I don't think so.
No,
It's not allowed anyway.
the military among them will be tried by the military, and the civilian will be tried by the civilian court. But no matter how you look at it, the judgment is still the same for both. So, but it's not. They will not try the military in the regular civilian court.
But it's in the constitution though. It's treason, and treason is in the constitution. So I mean, it depends on the court that is trying it. But the thing there is that whatever you're going to do is still impeded.
Yeah, but it depends on who's carrying out the treason. Now, if it's been done by the military, then it's an in-house court-martial process.
That's what I'm saying.
But carried out by the civilian, like Nnamdi Kanu, then that's a civilian matter.
It's true. Yeah. So what I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this, right? Regardless, treason is in the constitution. So it now depends.
We're losing you, Joel. Your connection is quite poor. Oh, all right, back to you, Simba. So Simba, round that space off. Give us another 3-4 minutes, and then we go to Patoski.
Well, my time is. I don't have much time. You can move to the next person.
Oh, all right, brilliant. We go on from you to Patoski. Simba is actually preparing for work as he joins us. So Patoski, floor is yours. The coup plotters. I think out of the 14 names, there was one. What was that Amadi doing there? It was meant to be a Nollywood actor. Now he's a coup. What's he doing there? This is the thing, no? And I think Tinubu will probably want to personally shoot this one himself. Where's his name again? It was meant to be the propagandist Stanley Kingsley Amandi, who is a Nollywood actor by all reckoning.
Yeah, one man. I think let me even start by looking at it. You see, I think people don't understand. They don't know a lot of things have changed in Nigeria, and that was one thing Zita was trying to say. You see, Nigeria of today, it is almost impossible for any coup to succeed. I'm not saying there cannot be attempt or plan or something. I mean, people can plan things on their own now. You can attempt things, but it's almost impossible for it to succeed because of the sheer size of Nigerian military now. If the military is small, like you have in all those countries, Burkina, even in Benin, all those places, those are military like in Benin. How many battalions do they have there? You understand? Nigeria now, in those days when Coup were succeeding Nigeria, we had only 4 divs in Nigeria, 4 divisions. Nigeria currently has about 8 divisions. That means the number of divs that we have has doubled. We have more brigades, we have more battalions, and then those days you could have like in a div or in a place like second div there, you could see a colonel, a lieutenant colonel being a brigade commander, a lieutenant colonel acting as brigade commander. Even during the Obasanjo time, you could see almost like a colonel or a lieutenant colonel heading a div. People like Ojukwu and the rest, their ranks heading a div, commanding a div and stuff like that. Now it is not possible. When they say colonel, that guy who is a colonel that's among them is just one out of many crowd. Because in an NDA class alone, do you know how many colonel will be in one set? And then in a batch, you have like 5 years sets, and maybe 3 or 4. There at least 3 year, 1 year, 2 year, 3. They will be in the same. There will be a time that all of them will be in the same rank together. You understand? So if you have like maybe 300 in a set, 300 and another set, 300, there will be a time when you have at least 900 colonels to 1,000 colonels from an NDA class. Now there are other commissioning system, apart from the regular and the class. So you have so many colonels, you have so many brigadiers now, even Major General. I was surprised because in those days, once you become the chief, they retire your guys, and I think was it Buratai that changed that system. Now, which is good because we're losing our very good and experienced people. You now go and keep them at home; they are redundant. Because someone like Musa now, look at Musa is very young. He should still be in the army. You understand? But luckily, he got this job. If he hadn't gotten this job, he would have been retired. Now, think back and look at a lot of people in Musa's set that are as young as him, and even some of them may be more brilliant than him, but unlucky. You understand? At least only one person to become chief of defense staff. So, but what I'm saying is that now you have like maybe you could have like almost 150 or 200 brigadier generals. So if only one battalion is enough to stop a coup, one battalion is enough to stop a coup. So if there's a group that is trying to push for a coup, if one battalion resists it, or one particular div resists it, it will fail. Now you now need to get all those people, like all those divisional heads, all those GOCs of divs, all those, you understand? But that involving too many people, then your coup will be in the news. Now, Rise will even carry it. So the surprise element, the secrecy, everything will be lost. So because it's big and it's complex, now I'm just talking of the army. The Air Force has its own structure, the Navy has its own structure. Now we have even the police is becoming very strong now. You have the other agency, DSS, then you have some sub agency of even the armed forces. So I'm just trying to let you see they might attempt to plan the coup, but for it to succeed is almost impossible. Now, yeah.
I think it's about the armory. Because I remember those days, it's about capturing those cantonments or divisions that have those armories, like Ojo, Kaduna.
Every division has an armory now. Every battalion has an armory.
No, but there are some but there are some that are bigger than others, right?
No, every div. You see, every div now. That's what I'm saying. It has changed. It has changed. I remember even those days. I remember a battalion that time. They have the armory where they have. As I'm talking to you, I'm even seeing it. I was a small boy there, but we know where it was. Well guarded. Every battalion we have an armory now. Where would they keep their weapon if they don't have an armory? Definitely every battalion has a weapon. They have their weapons, and they have places where they keep them if they are not in use. So there's no division that doesn't have armory. If they don't have armory, what are they using to fight? Or what weapon are they using? So
Patoski wasn't like that. Obasanjo decentralized it. It wasn't like that before.
Okay, maybe after I'm talking of like 1983, 1980.
So you can, if you take the cue from one cantonment, another cantonment can counter you.
Yeah,
that was why he decentralized them.
No, but Zita, I'll give you a good example. You can't say, okay, you see, every division we have the armory. For example, second mechanized division in those days, second mechanized division in Ibadan, they will have their own armory, armor tank, everything, their own storage. Are you trying to tell me that if Lagos Garrison Command, which is almost like a div, then need armor, would they have to go to second mechanized? What kind of decentralization? There's no place where you have military presence.
You don't understand. You know, they used to, there is I don't know whether you are making a difference of armory and cantonment.
Maybe armories and cantonment. No, that's what I'm saying.
Because they used to have a place where they have war machines.
Exactly.
It's different from patrol van, that you can use to secure an area.
But you don't need war machines for a coup now. You don't need war machines for a coup.
This is what I'm saying. You see,
you just need guns and tanks.
You see, anywhere you have military presence, he must be able to mobilize them for actions. Soldiers carry their weapon, their everything, they sign for it. When they are going, they return it to the armory. Their ordnance presence in almost every battalion those days have ordnance officers. They have ordnance company. They have S&T, that supply and transport. Those are ordnance. In those days, we are in a battalion, you have like A company, B company, C company. You have I've forgotten this one. Then that company that has like the support services, like S&T. Like, then you have ordnance. Ordnance is the one that issue all this. They are the one in charge of all these armors. Every division have their own ordnance units. So people just think, oh, they took the armor to every division. Some can have more than the other because of their location. For example, Lagos in those days, because of the head of state presence, and the presence of Air Force more in Lagos. So you expect fighter jets and all those stuff to be in Lagos, Kaduna, like that. But armor tanks, RPG, different weapons, almost every battalion we have that. So it is difficult now, almost impossible, not because armories are decentralized, but because the military is more complex now. There are more. We have more soldiers now. We have more divisions now. Then you have more senior officers now. Those days, you could just be working in Lagos. Maybe you will see or even this Abuja now. If you work in Abuja, maybe you see 5 major general on the street, or Lagos. In short, in Lagos, there was a time the whole of Ibadan can't see another major general other than the GOC. In Lagos, maybe 1 or 2. But now you see 10, 20. You understand? All over, because they are promoting them, and some of them have command, some of them have influence, so it's difficult. That's why Musa was telling you, I said, these guys are just stupid. If you listen to it, say, look, Nigeria of nowadays is different from the past. It is easy in smaller countries. If you look at those countries that Zita mentioned, those are bigger countries. It makes it more difficult. But in a country like, okay, she later said maybe not Ghana, but you can see that even the smaller countries, it is easier. Guinea, it's just like maybe they have just 1 division or 2. Even 1, they will just, all you need is just overrun that 1. That's all. But if you go look at Coup, it was the biggest commander from Ikeja that foiled that coup now. Forget about people telling you about that. From what the inside information I have, is 9th Brigade Ikeja that foiled that coup. 1 officer from Adamawa State, from 9th Brigade in Ikeja there that foiled that coup. It is more complex than it is. So I think the guy, they just wanted to take a gamble, and the Yamadi guy, maybe he was drunk the whole period. Or maybe just, at times you can be so aspirational that, very soon we'll be in power, we'll have money, so the thing don't enter in head. To me, that is very, very sad. But what really surprised me was that they had this plan before May 23, and that even the government has not started anything. So you cannot say that, because of this, because of that, they are not doing this well. It looks like they just didn't want to hand over power to Tinubu. I will not say it's tribal. It doesn't have to do with tribe. I think they just didn't want that guy. That's all.
Did you know how much delay that INEC chairman did? They were waiting for the coup to happen.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the delay in calling who won the election. Even when the whole Nigeria have seen who won the election, Jega delayed it for reasons I don't know. Maybe the coup, I don't know.
So the coup, they just didn't want to hand over to this guy, because if you look at those that they say they marked, they are not Southerner alone now. The speaker is from the north. So in short, from the northwest.
I think they were wiping out the succession chain. So Tinubu, exactly. They remove him, and then if Tinubu is not there, then it will be Shetima. If Shetima is not there, it will be Akpabio. Yes. And then if Akpabio is not there, it will be Tajuddin Abbas. So they wanted to wipe out the succession.
So it's not like It's not like they are looking for South.
They wanted to kill all of them.
They just wanted to wipe all of them. You see the death. You see how silly their thinking is. And then they were planning to do it.
Nigerian queues are bloody. I don't even know why a Nigerian will want a queue.
They now want to do it in Abuja, in where do you call that place? Eagle Square. Who does that?
In the eyes of everybody.
In the eyes of
cameras everywhere.
Who told you people that? I don't think the military will act that way. Sorry.
So army would just fold their hands.
One man, in all the story you're telling, you see this word you just said now. I won't believe it.
They are just, to me.
No, military cannot do that now.
It's an act of desperation anyway.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. If they want to tie him, they're marching into. They will walk into Aso Rock and wire him. No, they don't. How can they come to Igbo Square and start killing somebody now?
They wanted it to be spectacular now.
No, military don't act that way. Come on now. How bad?
No, if you look at the guy in charge, the lead person, then it looks as dumb as his actions suggest, you know.
I don't think so. You don't do military coup in the eyes of small children. Do you know how many people that gather in Igbo Square? Plus the children that are performing, you open fire. Come on now. What for you?
You have a whole battalion of parade, Air Force, Army, Navy, all of them on the parade ground. You understand? Then you have brigade of guard. A whole brigade of guard personnel. Those guys must be dumb. You have a whole brigade of guard personnel. A brigade has maybe 2 or 3 battalions. In those days, the Trika battalion can be less.
I don't know where woman got that story, but it's not right.
This is the public face of the coup. So this guy right here. So it looks as dumb as the idea suggests. His name is Colonel Margie. Where is he? I've just put him up now.
That's him, Nabi. That's guy that is not even a very popular Nollywood actor. I don't think
that's the public.
Guy,
it looks as dumb actor. That's the public face of the coup.
Oh man!
Whatever
you want to say, I don't think they want to do it in Igbo Square. Forget that story. It's not happening.
Well, that's what the defense intelligence is telling us now.
Those ones are the Apollo story. You are there planning to execute the whole of Nigeria. Do you know what it means to do inauguration? You go there, open fire.
They want to.
You won't come out alive now. Come on now.
The hours are that somebody that did that they did it to hours for that, but it was not a coup. It was an assassination because of his effort at reconciliation with Israel, and the people that took over were not the people that planned a coup to take him out. You understand? Okay, this is the guy.
This is the Amadi guy. Stanley. Yeah, Stanley Amadi.
Okay, this guy is an old guy. He's an old actor. So
see, woman, this guy's own story and what they tag his position, his action, doesn't really seem right to me, honestly, sincerely.
Yeah, but if it's not involved, then they won't. Sorry, Patoski. Sorry, Patoski. If this guy is not involved, I don't think he can hear us. If this guy is not involved, can you hear anybody?
Patoski? You get to a point you prefer make them buy you.
Patoski, can you hear us?
What the eye don't see?
Patoski, are you talking to yourself?
Can you hear me?
Because during
you can't hear anybody
during Abata's time,
it's all that eating we get. Yes. Okay, carry on.
This thing happened to one of my friends. They mistakenly arrested one guy, one major general for coup. After they took him to Apapa, when they finish, they say, "Oh God, sorry."
Pato,
They gave him
can you hear
his rank. The
anybody?
guy carried the rank, give them. Say
All
him
right,
they go.
let me drop
He
him.
doesn't
Hopefully
want
you
the rank
come back.
again. He doesn't want army.
All right, Patos will come back. I didn't mean to drop you, but you couldn't hear. So maybe when you come back, you'll. But what I was saying is, this guy Stanley Amadi right there. If he wasn't involved, then they won't say he was. There's no reason for them to say that this guy was involved unless he is involved.
No, one man.
You know, it's just a random actor now, so there was no reason to add his name unless the investigation tells them that he is involved.
Thank God you said he's a random actor. What they want this guy to, first of all, you heard what I said. I said, I am not disputing that he was there or he wasn't there. But what I'm saying is that the job they said he will do for them doesn't fit his status in Nollywood. Okay? He is not a popular actor. He is not a popular director. He is not all over the place. Okay? So if they have said something different, that is what he's going to do, I would have somehow believed it. But say he is going to carry the propaganda. He doesn't have that pedigree for propaganda. Because if you say Kenneth Okonkwo, if they have arrested Kenneth Okonkwo, I would say maybe.
No, now okay, Kenneth Okonkwo is too high profile. I don't think he would have agreed to something like that.
I'm just saying.
This guy is the chairman of the, I don't know their
for Enugu State,
the Actors
Guild, Enugu State.
The Actors Guild, yes.
But it's Enugu State, not Nigeria.
I think what the reason, maybe the reason why they actually co-opt him is so that he can actually speak to their people and spread the propaganda among them.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've given you example. If it is somebody like Patience Ozuko, Kenneth Okonkwo, even all these young ones, those ones are all over the place.
Wait,
they can do it effectively.
They are speaking for themselves. But this is a chairman that can woo other members. So
Enugu, only Enugu State, only Enugu, not Nigeria. Make sure that they read them well.
They don't even have anything like Nigeria. They don't have.
So somebody is saying he was using his platform to promote the coup. I'm not sure, but anyway, I think that is his.
Can I do my 5 minutes, please?
One man. Sorry,
yes.
12 now. One man. That person that said he's using his platform to promote a coup, if that is why they caught him, it will make sense to me than what they said he's going to do. Period.
All right, let's go to Joel. I think Joel is now pushed for time. Patoski, we're still hearing from you, but let's go to Joel and then we'll go back to you. Go to Zita. Joel, and also this lady that was killed by a snake bite as well. If you want to speak
I was
on that,
asking Chioma, where is Chioma? Naya is dead though. Ha.
Thank you very much, one man.
Sad, you know. Yeah.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be listening from. Joel of Nashville on the One Man Show. One man, I'm going to speak on two issues, and I'm going to speak briefly on the military issue. The issue is this. I will always refer people to the advert by Sprite. And it states, impossible is nothing. What it takes for a coup to happen is for people to mesh together and do the job. So you were talking about all these other places. Many of you are not even talking about the people. What do you think will happen tomorrow if the people wake up tomorrow and they hear, oh, Tinubu was shot up down to the fourth guy? You might see celebration on the streets. You might see celebration on the streets. So that brings me to what I keep telling anybody. It does not matter where you are, whether you're in the private sector or in the public sector. You must serve those people that pays your bill. Because two things are possible. It's either they protest, and the protest will be massive, or they rejoice, which helps whoever that committed the coup to stay in power. It makes even whatever thing you want to do, you might be surprised that even some of the military officers will be like, thank God. Because it's about motivation. The state of the country. Because you said, according to you, they started this coup.
No, they were going to do the coup at the inauguration now. So what's the
inauguration? Okay, and it did not happen, right? What made them, if they had done that coup at the inauguration, it would have been so unpopular. But if they tried that coup last year as they planned, it would have been popular.
Amongst who?
I'm telling you, no, I'm not telling you about among the obedience and Nigerians, of course.
Popular among which people?
You understand me? Hold on.
Obedient, it will be, of course.
I'm telling you, see, let me tell you, if they had carried out that coup, I guarantee you, some people will be happy. Some people might go on the streets to rejoice. Do not forget that some Nigerians have already called out the military to come take over. Yes, so what do you think will happen? Hold on. No, it's not the obedience. But the issue is this one, man. We might try to marinate over this issue, paint it whatever color we want to paint it. But every leader must be responsible to the people.
Joel,
I have told you, nothing is impossible.
Joel,
nothing is impossible.
Joel,
go ahead.
Though it's a personal question, would you have been happy if that coup succeeded?
I will not stand in their way. I do not support killing of anybody. Hold on. Let me say this. I do not. Hold on. I do not support the killing of anybody. But I won't stand in their way. Who am I to do that? Who am I to do that? I'm not even close. So let's leave it at that. One man, I think they were caught, and rightfully so. And they will have their day in court, whether military or I guess it's going to be the military court. So I leave it at that. I'm not going to marinate over that.
What about the snake bite girl? Are you aware of her? I never knew about her until this story, this unfortunate narrative of this young lady.
She was in the choir that played in my brother's wedding in Abuja.
I do not know that. I do not know this lady, one man.
Yes.
But after it happened,
how do you
I was listening to if I or what if I don't know. I think it's Ifnaya, yeah. I think Ifnaya because I think it's Naya. Her stage name is Naya, so it's Ifnaya. Yeah. One man, I listened to this girl do a rendition of "Time to Say Goodbye" by Brosselli, and it was one of the best renditions I've ever listened to. Unfortunately, she's no more here. One man, we've lost people in Nigeria due to carelessness. We have lost people in Nigeria due to bad governance. And I'll tell you why. You see, there was a time, I don't know who said that. I don't know if it was Peter Obi or somebody that said that we are poor. Even if you are rich in Nigeria, you are poor. Many people was like, what is this guy saying? Of course, the madman told him. One man, the issue of emergency services in Nigeria, primary health care in Nigeria is messed up. There is no excuse. As a hospital, if you're operating as a hospital, what are you providing as a hospital? What is the standard? What do you expect when you go into a standard hospital? If you do not have it, then close shop. Because what happens is this: you operate as a hospital, and I am sick or I have an emergency service, incident. Instead of me to rush down straight to the major hospital or maybe a federal hospital, maybe it might take 20 minutes. But I am looking at, oh, there's one that is 5 minutes away from me. I now go there. By the time they will now check me in and do order, the time is going. The time is counting. In the medical field, time is very important. Time is key. If I have a snake bite right here, all I can do is maybe do a tie over the bite site, and I call the ambulance, and I am sure that within 15-20 minutes the ambulance is here. And when I tell them what it is, they are already coming with antivenom already. Anyway, they already have them in those ambulances. Somebody said it's expensive.
That would be in the United States of America, right?
No, one man. You see some things, right? When we make certain statement, it makes me mad. If you calculate the amount of money with which you can supply antivenom medications to hospitals in Nigeria, you might be surprised it wouldn't be more than ₦1 billion a year.
Were you listening to Simba? Joel, were you listening to Simba? He said in over a decade of medical practice in Nigeria, he only treated a snake bites twice.
It does not matter, one man. That is why you are an emergency service. That's the point. I mean, I don't know how you guys see
it. You keep an ample stock of medicine that
one man. See. Let me tell you this. If I go into a hospital, please, can I, please, I don't want to lose my train of thought, please. If I go into a hospital and I see a crash cart, there is standard equipment that needs to be in that crash cart. Look, one man, if you have left these hospitals to do what they want in this country, they will not do it. Are those hospitals not making money? It's about priorities. It's about regulations. It's about seeing that things are being done right in Nigeria. One man, it's unfortunate. This thing could have been anybody. You might have said, I want to visit Nigeria, and it happens to you. So one man, you see, events like this, look at events like that of Anthony Joshua, reminds us, even those of us that are abroad, that the moment you step in your foot into Nigeria, you are poor. I want every one of us, you might want to marinate you to think you're protecting the government, or no, it's not about Tinubu or anything. It's about the failure of leadership over the years. And this one we are in is not even different. So you can make any excuse, make up any excuse. Remember, one day you'll be in Nigeria and you have an issue of oxygen and you walk into an hospital and you don't have oxygen. Somebody will also tell me that oxygen is expensive. And we have to look at that of Mobad. Look at Mobad. These are talent. These are generational talent. These are unique people, unique talents. It's just like you had a Burna Boy died. Look, we have to recalibrate one man. Take a step back, tell ourselves the truth about the country Nigeria without mincing words. I do not care who you support, but issues like this should be the issues you should be pushing to whoever that you're supporting. Because when it strikes, when that snake struck, he do not think if you're APC, PDP, supporter of Tinubu, supporter of Obi, supporter of Atiku, when that snake struck, it struck. That it happened to Naya does not mean it might not happen to you. So speak out. We have a poor emergency system in Nigeria.
Do you remember that?
Very painful.
Sorry, Joe, do you remember that newscaster as well that jumped from...
that jumped, exactly.
Yes, and then the medical services could not respond sufficiently enough, and she lost her life as well.
One man in 2002, very painful. Very painful. One man, let me tell you something, and I think I'll end on this.
And there is the Chimamanda son as well.
Son as well. Okay. You understand me? So when they tell you that Nigeria not happen to you, Nigeria happened to every one of them. One man, there was a situation that happened in University of Port Harcourt. Anybody listening to this show will remember the story of Ako. Ako was a young dude from Aoda. He went to see the girlfriend. So you know all these petty thieves, they came to steal. So they come through the window to steal, right? So for some reason, I don't know what happened. I think they jumped. I don't know how they got into. Okay, I think he went outside to attack them or something. I don't know why, and they shot him in the thigh. This guy was bleeding. People around the community put him in a car. As they were going, the car flipped. Because they were speeding, the car flipped. As the car flipped, right? It's like an accident, right? They came out, they were okay. They looked for, they got a taxi that took them to University of Port Harcourt. That university, remember, this is University of Port Harcourt. And they drove this guy to town, to University of Port Harcourt, teaching the hospital. A student. You know what happened, one man? The guy was bleeding, and they were asking the nurses were telling them to go bring police reports before they could treat him. This guy was bleeding and died on the spot. May God, may that boy Ako rest in peace. I went to his funeral. We did a protest even. Now, if, for instance, one man, he got shot, and an ambulance was called. Immediately the ambulance is coming, at least it will take the ambulance like 10 to 20 minutes. Probably they will be doing like trying to control the blood, maybe tie the site above the gunshot wound, right? And they're waiting for the ambulance. Maybe like 10, 20 minutes. Ambulance shows up. They have everything to control bleeding, rehydrate you. They have blood, and they have every instrument to at least resuscitate whatever thing that is going on, even if you're failing, even if your heart is failing. They can defib you. There won't be need for them to speed and maybe get into a situation where their car will flip, because all those things are time. So most times in Nigeria, people die from not getting the help they need in time, that the actual cause of their deaths, than the cause of them trying to go to the hospital. And it's sad. So whatever party you're supporting, please let this be a reminder that it could be us anytime. It could be you anytime. Thank you very much.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Excellently put by Joel, as always. Always excellently put by Joel. So thank you, Joel. Stay with us. We go on to Zita next. So Zita, floor is yours. We're talking about the unfortunate thing. It's just the most it's the most inelegant way to die. Just from us. It's just somebody as glamorous as this. You wish her a long life, but you certainly don't want the end story to be a snake bite. It just seems so silly, and it's a silly way to die. But you know that's the fate that life had dealt.
Would you want me to flow free, or am I restrained?
No. Who can restrain you? Even if you want, is that possible?
Okay. Yeah. I know the girl person. I was asking of Chioma, because I'm sure Chioma will know her. She sings with a men's choir. I sang in my brother's wedding. That's where I met her personally. She's a good singer. Now, woman, you know me. I don't usually speak with a lot of emotions. You see, no matter how advanced a country is and their medical expertise is, people still die of snake bite. Like in Florida, like in Arizona, people die of snake bite. But let me say this. You see, when things happen, for me, I don't really like the way we Nigerians make our case. What is the difference between Nigeria and other countries? People die of snake bite in Nigeria. People die of snake bite in other countries, no matter how advanced. Even here, they have their own animals that even kill them, although they don't have snakes like that. The difference is consequences. When you do something wrong, where is the accountability? That is just the difference. For we to come here and start saying how other places, they pack this, they pack that, they do this, they do that. Some snake bite, when it bites you, 10 minutes, you are gone. 5 minutes, you're gone. Even before the medical lay hands on you. But in advanced countries, what they will start asking is, when was the call put across? Who was in charge? When did they leave? When are they supposed to be there? Okay, you check all the time. It was accurate. They picked the person in time. What did they do? What was the first aid? All those things, by the time they look at it, it's either somebody is fired or somebody is losing his or her license. But in Nigeria, there is nothing like accountability. People do things and they just walk away from it. People do things, they don't pay fine. People do things that are not jailed. That's just the difference. And when you have a society where there is no accountability, it keeps decaying. Not that the things that happen there don't happen in other places anyway. That being said, I will conclude by saying, may her soul rest in peace. Because there are several ways, I will say it in this platform now, to scare snakes away from your house. More especially if you live in the tropics. Bitter cola is the answer. Make sure you buy it, throw it around your house. They will never near your house. Never. For those hearing my voice this morning, buy bitter cola. When the sun is hot, like this period now, the sun is hot, they're all out of their holes. When the rain is there, they'll be looking for your house for their warmth. So either way, if you're in the tropics, you are not free from them. So the best thing is the easiest way, 300 naira, 500 naira bitter cola can do the job. Change it from time to time. Maybe once a month, you replace them. That's all you need to do to avoid them from coming to your house. You can read about it.
What's the science? What's the science behind that?
That's why I said they should read about it now.
One man, I shouldn't. No,
something. One man. Please, I've said this severally in this platform. I'm not a professor. I am not a teacher. I only come here to air my opinion. So if I say anything that somebody wants to know more about it or want to counter me about it, the person should go and do research on it. Bitter cola is confirmed. You can open your.
We can't hear you, Hassan. No, by the way.
Huh?
Hassan was trying to interject you, but we couldn't. Even I couldn't hear him. But carry on.
What man you see?
On bitter cola though, you're right on that one.
What man you see? Hassan called me
one man.
He called
I was
me
trying to say that
I have ever had in
Madam
this
Victor
platform.
is right. And the way you like to ridicule indigenous knowledge, one man, you are too Oyibo for your own sake. I don't know which one you will. Maybe we'll just dash you to the
I'm just wondering. Would the Babalawo do some incantation on the bitter cola before you throw it? Will they do some incantations?
No worries, in a reptile there be.
You know, just as an aside, you know, out of everything that I fear in life, snakes is what I fear the most. You know, I don't want to die a violent death, so I would rather be eaten by a lion than be.
That's why I like good country.
Yes. Well, and I don't fear snakes. I actually am attracted to them. I'm weird like that. You know, my name is Hassan, right?
To farm snakes. Yeah,
there is a way I handle pythons, but I don't handle venomous snakes. I usually kill them, and but I have a very high sense of noticing if they are around. We have a species of cobra in Borno that is very venomous, and you know, there are some parts of Borno around the Mandara Mountains. That place too, we have several, you know, species of snakes. The thing with the venom, anti-venom, is that you have to keep it at a temperature in a you know, at a particular a freezer of some sort at least. And you know, not be everywhere where lights go there. So most of the primary healthcare centers, they do operation with torchlight safe, you know. So it's just unfortunate. Like, but this girl is only just like popular. But I just imagine how many people like lose their lives especially those that do not know the indigenous knowledge of how to manage it, and then also can't have access to the anti-venom. So you can survive snake bites. So you can survive snake bites mostly. What usually happens is that people get hey, snake don't bite me, and you begin to palpitate. You are anxious, you are hurrying up, and that spreads the venom faster, and it does more harm. Uh, we've lost so much indigenous. I learned this from my grandfather, a lot of these things. And Madam Zita is right. There's a place for kola nuts, and there's also a species of a species of lemon that also does that. It doesn't only chase away snakes; it chases away reptiles in general. Like anything that is reptilian, yeah, it doesn't like it. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like I don't. They say how did snake take bite the girl sef?
In our room, they said.
Okay, it's probably through sewage, through plumbing or pipes, or they usually lay eggs. And which city is she? Where is she? Lagos?
It was in Abuja.
Where? Okay, perfect. No wonder. No wonder.
In Dubai.
Abuja is notorious for snakes and the difference. And the thing with for a place like Abuja and not having access to anti-venom, that's a disgrace.
No, they did have access, but they didn't have sufficient supply, was what they were saying.
And there is limited knowledge of even what to do in the emergency situation. I mean, like she went to 2 hospitals, right?
Yes, she went to a private hospital. They had no anti-venom at all. And then she went to the Federal Medical Center where they only had 1 syringe, but she needed several dosages. That's what
Time must have already passed.
Yeah, because they were hoping the snake bit her, and then she took herself to the local private hospital. They didn't have anti-venom, and then she went from there back home. And then her landlord tried to take her to hospital, but his car would not start. And then she ordered a Bolt to take her to the so all of that time period, that thing was still here. So
it was meant to kill her.
Yeah.
No, when it's your time, it's your time.
Now village people now.
No. This thing that you usually say, Coup, that's just like pretending and just telling yourself what will console you. One day you must meet that thing. So just be at peace with it. When your time comes, it comes. But
she's only 25.
Yes. It's unfortunate, right?
She's so pretty as well. Pretty girls should not die now. It's not allowed.
See, one man, you see all these stories about perfect healthcare system and blah blah blah. Just as Hassan said, when your time is up, your time is up. I remember in 2018, that was 2017, right in my office in Shah. What were we doing? There is what we used to do, like if God, like you have a promotion or your birthday or something nice happened to you, you just call a caterer. And then they come in, you book a small hall, call your colleagues, we just go there for lunch, pray, laugh. If you are not a Christian, we just crack jokes. If you want to tell us what it's all about, you do. If you don't want to. So on this very occasion, I can never forget that day. I've seen a lot in my life. This lady was not in our department in the first place. But when things like that are organized, if you are passing by, you can pop in and have something to chew. She went on lunch trekking. We used to do exercise during lunch period. So she went the normal exercise. As she was coming back with her friend. She just saw us in the hall. She walked in like, hey, come on, have something to chew. One man, do you know what killed her? Food choke. Like you choose something, it went to the wrong side. Like Joko. This
Yeah.
one is not like there is no medical. The building we were in, I don't know if you people are conversant with Shah. The building we were in is called B4. Behind the B4 building is the ultra modern chair clinic. So, like, Chukuku, are you okay? Drink water, blah, blah, blah. Somebody just pick a phone, call clinic. That somebody is choking. They rushed because it was just, they rushed with their elevator, do all manner of first aid they could do on the lady. There is no manner of first aid they didn't do right there. When they find out that it wasn't a first aid something, they put her in a stretcher. They don't need to go anywhere because all they need to do is we're in the second floor, run up and down. This is I'm telling you, 5 minutes. They took the lady out. We continued eating. Thought it was a normal thing. The next thing, everywhere went quiet. The manager got a phone call and we do, the whole place went quiet. Me, my mind didn't go there. Why would she die? And she's gone. Just like that. She was gone. Food show.
And the amazing the I would say the paradox of when death comes is like it's like the universe will align against you. Everything that will go wrong will go wrong. It doesn't matter whether you are the president, whether you have all the money, whether you have all the facilities. When it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, the thing is
That's
that
just it.
the people were saying, hey, she would have just passed. I said, look, if she's meant to die that day, she would have still died anyway. Food, one man, food choke, like you eat. That was it, oh, like joke.
Madam Zita, this reminds me of somebody. Anyway, it's just the way the human being is designed, right? We swallow, breathe, and we still use the same windpipe for speech. So that particular place is very vulnerable. And there are people who have autoimmune diseases. A lot of things can happen, and you can also choke because you can't breathe and die, and it happens. But there is a procedure that usually you are supposed to do, and then just take the person from the back, and then you hit them with enough
They
pressure
did
that
all
it
that.
causes.
They did.
They did it.
I'm talking about S, which includes white people. We have
Mm.
white doctors.
Yes, and it's true. Yeah,
There is
yeah, it's
nothing
time.
they did not do. When the first thing, they even came with oxygen. When they noticed
But
the
did they tell
doctor,
you the cause of death? Did they
huh?
tell you?
Asphyxia.
Did they tell? No,
It's
no, no.
asphyxiation.
It might well not be. She might well have an allergy to something that she's eating.
And
That
if there
it might
were
not be the
To
stroke
die
you mentioned.
emergency,
within
they
10
would have given
minutes.
her an EpiPen now. An
Anyway,
EpiPen.
let's go back to the next topic. One man.
All right. We were also talking about
The coup.
yeah, we're talking about the coup, but I'm not sure if we've overflogged the coup. But if you want to speak to that, you can.
I want to
Okay.
correct something again. I like correcting something. That's why people don't like me. You see, they said if they buy Tinubu, that Nigeria will celebrate. Actually, there is no leader that will be buyed. People will not celebrate. I don't think that is a nice statement to make, because the people that failed will always be excited that the person that won them has died. I want to correct this by giving an example, because you see, one man, the minority are always the loudest. They make a lot of noise. And they made that noise because the majority kept quiet. I'll give you an example. In I keep giving people this example, even when they don't like
sorry,
it.
Zita. Sorry, Zita. Can people please like and subscribe? Our numbers are not looking good. Like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Carry on, Zita.
I usually give this example, even when people don't like it. But I will give that example. In 2020, a man called Donald Trump went for his second term. He got extra 12 million votes than what he got in 2016. He lost that election. Some people went to the street to celebrate. The way it was positioned, the media, the people who care to speak, made a statement like America has rejected him. But they didn't pay attention to the extra 12 million people that voted for him. It's going to happen again in 2027. One man, mark my word. Mark the 2027 election.
Madam Zita, I would like to agree with you, especially with the coup thing, because people don't think beyond their noses. When things happen,
let me finish so that
the
I don't
knock-on
lose my
effect.
point.
Okay,
Please, let me
finish.
People did not pay attention to the extra 12 million. The media swept it under the carpet. And the news the whole world was carrying is that he's the most hated president in America. I keep asking people, I don't know where you got that thing from. People went to
Let
the
me
street
understand you,
celebrating.
Madam Zita.
Donald Trump
Let me
has lost the
understand
election.
you.
In
Are you saying
2024,
Trump won?
the same person came out, the same man that the media said he was well hated, nobody liked him, he's the most hated president in the United States, Americans has rejected him. He came back again and swept the polls. Now let me take it back to Nigeria. You see, it is actually ridiculous for somebody to come and say that if a president of a country, not just a country, Nigeria, a duly elected president, is being pied publicly in Eagle Square, that people will go and celebrate. You see, sometimes we say some things that I don't know if we can take it back.
Madam, if you want to address me, sister, if you want to address me, I said what I said. You make your own statement and stop bitching over my stuff.
I didn't mention your name.
No, you're referring to me.
No,
so
I didn't. You are not the only one that
if you
said
want
this.
to come to me, and talk to me. They take it out. But all this your bitching around the
one that
bush.
have said this.
You repeated the same thing over 4 or 5 minutes.
Don't own it alone. You are not the only one that
I said what I said. I said that some people looking at how the country is, that some people
you are not the only
will be
one
on the
that
street.
have said this kind of
Is it the right thing to do? Maybe not.
So don't
but
own
some
it.
people will be on the street. You're not going to control the people.
Hey,
you here as the one saying the same thing here.
That's still fine. Okay.
Come on now, make your statement and let's move on.
If you want to own it, that's
it don't pass now. They go celebrate, but they go later cry. Everybody
will cry. You are not the only one, both online and everywhere. You are not the only one. But if you want to own it to yourself, that's still okay. You know me, I don't care. But that's not a nice thing to say.
Madam Zita, let me ask you something now.
Go ahead.
Do you believe that Trump won the elections in 2020 and that he was rigged out and Biden was put in? Is that what you are insinuating?
No.
Okay.
I said he won extra 12
million he won. No, he won.
He won him. See,
he won.
What happened in 2020 was that there are a lot of malpractices. But because
I think Trump is proving to us every day why he did not win that election.
Can I answer you?
Go ahead.
There are a lot of malpractices, but being a strong democracy, they said it is not enough. If you put those malpractices, they acknowledge the malpractices, But they said it is not enough to overturn the election. Are you getting the point? They acknowledge there are malpractices, but they said if you put those malpractices, get it here, get it here, get it here, get those votes, turn this vote that was wrong, turn this one, you put them together, that is not still enough.
Who said that?
The DOJ.
Was it the Supreme Court?
No, the DOJ said that.
The DOJ is a political.
No, because those kind of cases come to them.
Are you telling me that Kash Patel is not covering for Trump?
Let's not get too American, no. Otherwise,
no, you know, we are literally copying their democracy.
Those kind of cases go to them. Is the DOJ actually the DOJ is being appointed by him? It was the DOJ that said,
what did you expect?
Like Trump, to overturn the election.
Trump is a misnomer. Like,
okay, I don't want to go into that one, please. You people have started all this year. If
no, so
don't be surprised if that man is in the ballot again.
That's not being consistent with the facts, really. That's just a conspiracy, and there is.
But don't you think America needs a misnomer person to do that?
America is not. It's an empire that is not ruled on any moral.
Okay,
ethical,
let's go back to
so Trump just took the mask off, and you know, the spasm of
one
death.
thing I have to tell you people is that there is nothing Trump is doing that is new. The only difference is that he is somebody who likes being on camera. He's a show.
The insurrection team is new.
That's all. There is absolutely nothing.
The level of blackmail and PDF
there is nothing
over his head by disease is real. So he has to perform.
Look, Hassan, if you name anyone, I will tell you the same thing. It's like they keep those attitude for them in the White House. If you name one, I will tell you the same thing, George Bush Senior, because that's when I started monitoring America. I will tell you what Junior did.
Let's take it a little bit further.
I will tell you the same thing Clinton did. I will tell you the same thing Junior, but Job Junior. I will tell you the same thing Obama did. Surprisingly, I will still tell you the same thing.
So now what we're doing is if somebody does wrong, then if you do wrong, then that two wrongs, then it makes a right. Is that what you are trying to say?
I'm just trying to tell you that's the way they rule. Period. So it's not
that's typical American whataboutism. Anybody that subscribes to this Trumpian thing is very difficult to have any sort of engagement rooted in any rationality. Yeah,
you see,
I don't know.
I will say something that
let me just leave this Trump thing alone.
Let me leave that. One more. Let's go back to
Nigeria.
To Nigeria, because there are a lot of things
when you are done
about America people don't like, because it is only America that can do it, and for that reason they don't like it. So let's leave it. So one man, Malami, you said Malami, how many billions? One man.
You know, they seized a lot of assets from him, a lot of properties. And the AFCC has asked for the forfeiture of that property, which the court has granted. So he's now counter-applying for his properties not to be forfeited. So the properties that they seized from this guy is near 300 billion naira. And he's now giving us his income stream to try to tell us that this is a guy that he didn't come into government with a kobo. And now he's the richest man in Nigeria.
Hey, richest man in Nigeria.
Where he made this money? How did these people make this money? They just open. This is a country you call a poor country.
Madam Zita, isn't it ironic that it's because
this is 221 million US dollars, right?
It is more than that. What they are saying is what they can prove is what they are talking about too.
Oh, the man is richer than that.
You know, be Nigerian.
He has this sorry, he has this assistant, a guy called something Guazo. And that guy is his bag man. They used to ferry a lot of money out of the country into because he knew they would come for him. After
but one man, one man. Do you think there is a link?
They would never get his money.
Do you think there is a link between his political opposition and maybe a role he played against Tinubu during the Buhari flag bearership thing?
Did he
and
play
then
any role?
He must have, of course. They were the ones controlling Buhari at the end stage of his career, and of course, that cabal around Buhari, that during the final days of towards the election, he must have played. I think there are a lot of APC people that served in Buhari government, but are now darlings to the because they don't have political opposition. So this selective justice of Nigeria around corruption is only done
Would you say selective justice? Because if you
it's selective.
I wouldn't want to agree with
that. Oga, see Yaya Bello now. We are not blind now, man.
Look, Yaya Bello is a choir boy compared to Abubakar Malami. Abubakar Malami was stealing in open glare now.
You see this moral. What kind of morality or what basis? Okay.
Now hold on. Do you remember when he some dead case against Nigeria? He reinstated it and said he was going to pay them compensation, which he did, and then some Paris Club deal. He was taking money from all of the state governors to service some Paris Club, something that was already $500 million. He ran that scam with Nedun Woko. And then there was a time he was using the EFCC to seize people's assets and then selling it to himself by profit.
Very brutal, inhuman people. They are the same gang.
No, it's criminal. It's not selective justice. Abubakar
Where is the man now?
I'm sure, and that ring of the people, he's not the only one.
Political angle to it, but there's definitely not.
There is a political angle to it. That is my argument.
One man, I don't understand this political angle. Is that kind of money found with him?
How do you mean?
It's
very
it's alleged and it's alleged. No, there's paper trail now.
There's paper trail, and
but the money they never see him.
But but they found his assets now. They found assets traceable to him that is not consistent with his income. Even Dangote will struggle.
Do you know what Dasuki said when Buhari jailed him on that $2 billion? He said that that he's a soldier. That this is not he has been to prison. And that he has already, overcome death a long time ago, than for him to bring out that money. He'd rather, if he will die in jail, he will die in jail. That he has people who, will come after him who deserve, he said something allegedly in Kuje prison, something like that.
Hassan, that's the thinking in that space.
Can you imagine?
Hold on. When these people go in, they loot money. So they loot, let's say they loot $1 billion. They know that they're only keeping half, maybe 600,000 of that. They know that half of it will go to the lawyers, some will go to the bribery. They will get some sort of aggression from the government. They will politicize it. One will look at Femi Fani-Kayode. The allegations against him was in the Obasanjo first term. The case only ended last year, so, and he spent all the money that he looted, so they know that once they've stolen the money, it's almost irrecoverable, and they have the lawyers to tie down forever in perpetuating the courts.
They have already mastered the Nigerian judicial system and all the loopholes. If you see the signs that they are representing them, oh God. God Desha.
One man, I want to see the man's face. I don't
Abubakar
know what he
Malami.
looks like. Yes.
He's free,
Is your former
He's
Attorney
free.
General now? There he is.
Madam Zita, you'd imagine that somebody who stole that kind of money should be behind bars, right? He's free.
But the political angle to it, they are trying
He's
to
free.
prevent. They are trying to prevent that money from getting to the ADC because that's the money for the election. The Abubakar Malami money. Yeah.
Probably. But
This
whatever
man
it
looks like
is,
a man robber.
in the ADC now.
What was his job in Nigeria?
He was the Attorney General
of the Federation under Buhari.
Attorney General.
He used his office to order the EFCC to remit like all these like his assets now that are being confiscated, right?
Yes.
Say the EFCC chairman now one Yoruba guy. So just imagine, say, who be the Attorney General with there now? Say him go tell the Yoruba guy with there now, say me just forward the thing to the office of the Attorney General. So he will handle it. Like that was what he did. So
he brought the EFCC under their
yeah, there was this guy, one young man like that, one inexperienced young man, and that he brought. He actually put that guy intentionally as a front, so that any seized asset or anything that is coming back, whether it is Abacha's loot, whether it's that it will come through his office first. So they actually did a lot of stuff, because the real thieves in Nigeria are the ones that steal in hard currency. Now small thieves, they thief in naira.
That guy must be. This guy he must be richer than Dangote as he is right there.
Your hyperbole is too much now, one man.
Who was the DOJ before him?
What
old man?
You mean the AG?
Attorney General, there is one that was before him.
Is before him under Buhari? He did the whole 8 years, so.
He did the whole 8 years. So I think.
And you are talking of the chief judge. That chief judge,
yes.
The chief judge is Nigeria. Chief judge no get.
You see, this guy was the president of Nigeria for 8 years.
No, he was not. No. You're hyperbolic. That's my problem with you, man. You are just you can't help yourself.
Yeah, do you remember when Aisha Buhari told us that the government was hijacked immediately? This was if you look at this guy,
it's not this man. It's not Malami.
Hold on, it was Malami, Abba Kyari, and Mamman
Daura.
Those were the
yes, okay. Now look at it this way, and let me tell you what's really happening.
What is the name of the one that died of COVID?
It is the Daura. It is the Daura.
It was Malami that died of COVID now.
No, it is scary.
No, it was Kyari, Abba Kyari. Yeah.
So it's scary that died of COVID. Kyari, so Malami is still alive, and Mamman Lawal Daura is still alive and well. Yeah. And he was the president, not Malami.
No, Malami was the president. Oh.
No, one man does. I'm telling you something. You are okay. Just go with whatever you want to. Did you read the Aisha Buhari book? Supposedly book. Have you read it?
The one that was recently published.
Have you read it?
No.
Why are you talking then of what you don't know? What is just speculation? Look now, for example, now with the coup, they said it's Timothy Silva, but Timothy Silva is not in Nigeria. So what does that mean? That means.
Is on the road.
Can he not be extradited? Where is he?
Who knows?
You see that coup, That coup if it had succeeded, it would have led to a knock-off effect that will destroy Nigeria and Nigerians. And it will even affect other neighboring countries, because it's just like opening the Pandora's box. They want to assassinate number 1, 2, 3, 4, like, right? Then seize control of Nigeria from Abuja. Then declare. I can't. The knock-on effect of that thing, God. But they say when they plan, God plans, and God is the best of planners. Nigeria has a lot of enemies, and I think the reason why Tinubu Silva's name is not being brought out, because they have
said
made a
Nigeria
connection.
should celebrate.
They will celebrate, but in the first instance, but they will cry later, like when Gaddafi was killed. Like they celebrated, but what's happening with them now? Like, of course you say, of course leaders always have enemies. They always have rivals. That's the nature of leadership. You will always have people who are opposing you, but you have to also understand what people don't understand about this kind of thing is that there is a verse in the Quran that said that if you are a decent human being, you should be very cautious of anything that would cause the kind of chaos and strife, that when its consequences come, it will not only affect the person that caused it, but it will also go on the person that did not know about it, did not innocent of it, has no idea, but will also be a victim of that. Look at the way the First World War started. Now it was just an assassination of one of one person, but then what was the knock-on effect? How many people had to die? So
they said
right now, I'm not ruling out that Tinubu Silva is an asset of some 3-letter agency abroad.
Did you hear me? They said that one man is telling the story that they want to do the coup in Eagle Square. Do you believe that?
It's possible.
No, that is
what they said, but they were changing their plans according to events. But when I was telling you guys that Nigerian DMI, the Nigerian military intelligence, is one of the best sources of intelligence. I am not joking, because you see, DSS, they have been useless. Forgive me for saying, I know there are a lot of good people, agents, but structurally, I mean, the way they are set up, they are not as effective as the Department of Military Intelligence, because I have seen these guys go to work, infiltrate cells, make Boko Haram. You see how Boko Haram splintered? That was the work of DMI. Like, that's some good as bad as, thing to make your enemies fight themselves. Like that civil war, gave us breathing space. So these guys were following things up, and they were keeping, the presidency abreast. So they wanted to take out all 4 of them and the service chiefs, then promote themselves and take over the country. I think the aim of the coup is the stabilization of Nigeria. That's just it. And then when everything scatters, those who want the resources, there will be a DRC, and maybe that may be the possibility. Because I don't know why they are not confronting the source of the funding and calling that person out. This would only mean, well, let me just keep quiet.
They said to me, Silva chipped in a billion naira in 4 trenches.
One man, they know they are not saying, they know more than they are saying, and there's a reason why.
Well, that's always the case now. They can't reveal everything now.
Yeah, there's a reason why. But it's also a signal, right? Like, we know, you know, but you know that now I know. Okay, so sometimes this is how yeah, spy agencies speak to each other. It's in code, but
Are
they
you
know.
blaming it on the FBI? Is that what you're
No, Haba, which FBI? No,
who's this
come on.
three-letter agency
I won't. Why I go say I don't know. I don't. It's just allegedly. It's just a hypothesis. Nothing. I'm just reading patterns of previous. What
Please,
you know?
is he free with the money? I mean, Malami.
He
How
is.
do you mean?
Do you know what happens in that Kuje prison when they take them there? They
Mm-hmm.
buy cows. They, in fact, the Nigerian military, and what do they call the prison warders? The paramilitary organization that is in charge of prisons. A lot of them want to be like, if you are not controller general, what you want to be is to be in charge of Kuje prison, because that's where they bring thieves. So at a point when the present governor of Bauchi, when Buhari put him there, he actually bought 2 generators and he was killing cows for the prisoners.
Every day.
When the man went to when the one in lawyers free, and now so prisoners they cry, prison warders they cry, everybody they cry. God, in Nigeria.
So they put him there and he still have access
So
to
the
this money.
money, like, of course, EFCC were all over him. The money was not with him, but like, yeah, others were coming with, like, they say it's out of goodwill, like it's their person. So, and the law does not forbid you to bring help to prisoners. Like, so, yeah. Hey, the
This is
drama,
actually a joke, honestly.
so I think Nnamdi Kanu also did not help himself, like when he attacked that judge in that case, and he had to send him to Sokoto. He would have left him in Kuje. Like, it's if you have money, like you
But
don't.
Nnamdi Kanu does not have the level of money that will insulate him from justice now.
No. He has now.
He has.
He has governors that he has access. He has that leverage. It's leverage.
Best thing that happened was that Sokoto they sent to him, because if he was in Kuje, his people would have been messing around the whole place.
Yes.
You know, see, as he's just quiet now. We don't even hear of him anymore. It's just
Sokoto is far
I
now,
thought you would have brought
and there are a lot of bandits on the road. They can kidnap you.
I thought you would have brought Soludo and what he's doing to them in Anambra.
No, I brought it now. It's part of the discussion points now. But it looks as though the Anambrarians are defying him, because they said they sat at home in the southeast in defiance of Soludo.
It's Zombu. They don't know. They need Nigerian law. The land belongs and the market belongs to the governor. Hey, now
he's going to bulldoze it. So let's see him bulldoze it now.
He can, and nothing will happen.
But why are they doing the sit at home is what I don't understand. They're playing an economic
It's no longer, they have taken it as their holiday. I don't think they actually do have something.
They have built their lives around 4-day week. Yeah.
Yes. They build their life around it, but Soludo has shown them the one that made him a professor. They said he marked 10,000 stores for demolition.
But seriously, there is serious economic loss. So, like, as a chief executive, you have to look at that now.
No, what he would have done is, if I were him, I know how to handle those crazy people. What he would have done is that every Monday, anybody that did not open his church, his store, his office, banks, what do they call it? Schools will be shut down. The principal will pay a fine. for that school to open again. The same thing with banks. Then the stores. Anybody that did not open his store will pay a fine of 200,000 for him to enter that market again to sell.
And as it are, you two are extreme.
Honestly, sincerely speaking, by the time you
It's
do
too
it like
extreme
that
now.
for 4 consecutive Mondays, they go sit up.
No, he can make an
Do you know that
example. I
civil
think he's
servants
trying to
don't go
make
to
an
work on Monday?
example of this one so that the others will wake up.
Civil servants don't go to work. Oh. It's not only market
Yes.
people.
I think it's looking for an opportunity to demolish that main market.
Yes,
Anyway.
yes,
that
yes.
main market is an eyesore for all of its
No, I don't.
popularities. An eyesore.
I don't know the market, but me, I'm thinking of it as like, you know, the economic losses are real. Like, that one day that you take for granted, like people not putting in that shift, banks not opening, transactions not happening. That's a serious, like, you know, gap, a hole in the
And it has been
government's
going on
revenue.
for 3 years.
It's significant now. As a chief executive, you have to do
That's
something
the
about
better
it now.
part of that's the better part of 200 billion naira now over those 3
Yeah,
years.
it's a lot of money. Imagine what that would have done. So, and all for what? All for what? That's the problem. To attain what? For what goal?
You know, I don't get it. You know, they are doing the sit at home because Nnamdi Kanu has been incarcerated, but the sit at home is taking place in the southeast. So they are not punishing the country now; they are punishing themselves in order as a protestation. It's like
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I can't get my head around it too.
They are not sitting at home in Lagos. They are not sitting at home in Abuja. They are sitting at home in the southeast. And Tinubu is meant to care about that, or Buhari is meant to care about that.
Somebody got you angry.
How does that affect him?
Wait now. Let me give you the situation. One man, somebody got you angry. Instead of you slapping the person, you decide to be slapping yourself.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable now. The economic loss, you know,
Are you talking about
what
about people that were tied?
Bye.
What about people that were
all right,
tied?
thank you, Hassan. Spele. Even you are late, even are you not 10 minutes late already, Hassan? It's gone.
One man, we have to shut down. No.
Yes, let's shut down.
Okay, now see you tomorrow.
All right, thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Anybody that is not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Anybody that's not clicked on like, click on like. I know it's an early, late one. So thank you for staying with us. We'll be back tomorrow again. You'll hear from Zita, myself, and the usual suspects. So thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.